Well, here we are again, ladies and gentlemen. I am Nick Dichiria, joined by Sean Green and the legend Will Stuart at the Tournament Champions in Kansas City, Missouri, brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts. Earlier today, we saw the No Cap and Division I triples, and now here we are, the No Cap doubles going on in the bullpen. Sean, how are you?
Buddy, I'm doing well. It is good to be back in action this evening with you fine gentlemen. This is a good matchup to get started with. Travis and Tyler, Scuba Steve and Bob Anderson.
I mean, you said it yourself there. I mean, this is some fantastic darts that are going to be ahead of us, and really great darts that we're going to see all evening. We saw the No Cap doubles the last couple nights here, and it's one of those nice things to see is these high-level players shooting it out and towing edge to edge.
Tyler actually impressed me earlier today. We got to see him for the first time in triples. He did really well, and you can see right there, nice 7 mark from him.
And this is going to be that middle bracket match, so they did already get one loss in here. Winner will play the last night's winner overall, Kenny Doyle and Nick Slepic.
Okay. We do have some news for you right out the gate.
Speaking of gate,
Leonard Gates and Jeremiah Millar are out of this tournament. Already.
Wait. I don't think I heard you right there. That can't be the case.
They're
What'd you
out.
say?
They have already lost 3 times.
And that just shows how tough this room is. This is some real deal darters. Sure, there are some fan favorites. Sure, there are some people that are well liked in the dart community and well known even in the dart community. But there's a lot of shots that can hold their own here, and we're seeing that right now. Steve Diker, got a chance to interview with him earlier. Really nice guy. Wearing that lucky glown glass ring right there, by the way. Shout out to that.
Yeah, gets himself a 4 mark. Tyler's going to come up trying to close the 18th at some point.
Eventually, they'll have to close if they plan on winning.
Yep. He does get it closed. You called it perfectly right there, bud.
Bob Anderson, someone we feature on the stream a few times here. Super Darts sponsored player, and has been doing well with Scuba Steve. I mean, they're looking for a first place together, but they have done some wonders every time we feature them on stream, and some quite big wins for them.
Yeah, Scuba and Bob have been around in the Green Bay, Wisconsin area for quite a while. Taking on Travis here, who had quite the experience himself on the CSE Challenger Series. Ended up in some controversy.
And not to his own accord. Not to him or the other player.
His fault or the other player's fault. It just happened to be a error from the board's perspective that worked out in the favor of Travis's opponent, but Travis was really great throughout the whole experience. It was really well done.
Yeah, I went up to him out there, and I just wanted to tell him face-to-face. I was like, listen, man, you are truly what sportsmanship is about. There's a lot that goes into these tournaments, and a lot on the line between just the fact that most of these guys want to win and everything else. So when something goes wrong, to handle it as well as he did when it was already outside of his control is pretty interesting to see and very rare. It's a nice refresher, if you will.
Yeah, very admirable.
Well,
not as admirable as the dance moves back there, but
don't tell Dancing Danny.
He's got some competition. That was a pretty decent moonwalk. Oh my gosh, it's Will Stuart.
Showing some moves here. Yeah, I figured I'd hop on for a little bit. Why not? We'll have some fun with it. Some Wisconsin nights in the stream here.
You know,
A lot of Wisconsin people tuning in for the week.
Speaking of Wisconsinites, I'm pretty sure I caught my dad out there wearing a Boom Goes to Wisconsinite jersey. Nice to see his support of Wisconsin, Green Bay in particular, and the Boom culture.
Yeah, you know what they say, go Pack, go.
Yeah, you've been saying that ever since the Colts started performing so poorly. Oh, wait, they have been.
What? Why was that like a rebound take from you there? I was just trying to piggyback on the dissing your dad, and you're turning it back around on me.
Tyler Felt stepping up to the line here.
Yeah, Tyler and Travis in pretty good position here to take this leg.
See over there wearing that suit jersey, that's going to be Devin Hunter back there, alongside with just a bunch of other great shots in this room. That's one of the cool things about this area we're in. We're not far off from the main dart playing room, the main streaming room, if you will. So we're right around the corner, and it's nice because when we walk out there, it's talent after talent after talent. Being able to talk with them, meld some minds, and really understand the game, and maybe asking about what happened when some of the strategy that we've seen on the stream. It's really cool to talk to them face to face. Paul Rogers saying, "I hope he gets to feeling better soon." Sean Green.
Thank you, I appreciate that, bud. It's
I've
had a little bit of a cough tonight.
Yeah, he's been you're experiencing just a little bit of a cough and itchy
Felt a little
throat.
bit better earlier today. It's come back though.
Yeah.
It's always a bad day to stop sniffing glue.
What?
What?
What was that?
Why do you do these things? Airplane, picked a bad day to stop sniffing glue. I figured it
my
would
goodness.
cause anybody to cough.
Oh, he tried to hit us with a movie.
One more of those
reference
outbursts, and you were editing videos.
You
for
are
us tonight.
out of here, bud.
You're saying I get to go to bed early? Oh my!
Even Jake was like, "Yeah, that's an airplane movie reference." For one time, he hits us with a movie
Yes,
reference.
that's funny. Ton 80 Dart Supplies. They got some taste in their commentators. I see.
Yes, they are laughing with you and not at you for sure, Nick.
All right, now we are into the middle game here. We've seen this time and time again. 501 Big Bull Open Out. As we've said time and time again, it is about taking out this game within 10 darts, within 12 darts, usually at 10 for the team going first. Team going second here, if they hit a hat trick off the rip, they need to be hitting some form of a 9 mark if they want to try to get ahead. Because it's tough. It's tough to win this, especially at the no cap level. You expect everyone to hit a bull every single time. As we've seen.
As you're seeing it so far, back-to-back hat tricks between these two.
Yeah, the Fat Bull 01 game can be just so difficult to really turn around and break throw on, especially at this level. Most of your individuals are going to hit that Fat Bull most of the time. Surprise here, Bob missed 2 right off the bat here. Let's see if he can recover and hit this third dart. Does so, 275 compared to 351. Travis can gain the advantage here.
Is it fair to say that Bob Anderson has been struggling a little bit this TOC compared to the level he's capable of playing at?
Yeah, I think Bob would honestly tell you that maybe he's been struggling this year, let alone just at the TOC. I think that Whammo, they didn't have really, he didn't have really the success he's used to at that one. So yeah.
Oh
I would
no,
say so.
that's a bad dart. Leaves a bogey finish. Sorry guys.
No, but that's a pivotal miss now, because that means Tyler Feltz can guarantee them being first to an out, which is crucial because you have an opportunity now to steal the game that you should never have a chance to steal unless you're playing perfect.
And steps Tyler, 136 now. Another bull leaves 86.
That's a good spot.
And that's unfortunate because Bob's not going to have a chance at a checkout here. And an easy checkout for Travis when he steps up again.
Yeah, I mean, between him and Steve, they missed 3 bulls in total, and you'd have to imagine that the game would already be out on that turn right there if those darts went in prior.
What do you think, bull double 18 here?
Every time.
There's the bull.
Trip 12 for the fans.
You can go regular 18. Gets the big 18, and that'll do it.
That's a, oops, sorry, didn't mean to kick you there, Sean. That is the way to take it out and kind of sneak a game away that normally is not won.
Oh, yeah, you said it never happens. Never break the throw on the 0-1
This is
game.
the first
That's
time.
Nick Dichiria saying that all day long, twice on Sunday.
In about 6 or 7 matches, this is the first time we've seen that actually happen.
That's true. But it does happen, apparently.
Yeah, it's just very hard to. It requires the team going first to make a mistake.
Well, these guys.
Raz, I would say I agree with you on that one. It should be. He should have gone at the 19s with 73 left, not the 17s.
So it looks like Wes White and them are not started yet. So it does look like Brian Dennis and a few others are going on board number 4, as Brian Dennis actually just got done hitting a nice 9 mark. So
That
here we
sounds
go.
about
Let's
right for
check this
Brian.
out.
Brian Dennis, Jesse Gore, Tony, I believe that is going to be Tony Stevenson and Jeremiah Berger going at it here to see who plays Jules Van Dongen and Mike Carter in the King Seat match.
I sure do hate that view.
So this is going to be game 2 with Jesse Gore and Brian Dennis winning the first leg. So therefore it is 1-0 in a race to 2.
Laura, hello. Thanks everybody for joining us here. We definitely appreciate it. Give us a like and a follow if you have not. Trying to creep up on that 20,000 mark. We're not too far away on USA Darts. Partners Promoting Darts. We're creeping up on that 10,000 mark. So give us that like, give us that follow if you would. We definitely appreciate it. Subscribe to our YouTube pages if you're watching on there. So you get a little flicker of the lights. Rutro.
Oh, yeah, it looks like the power actually flashed. The board reset right in the middle of this. He's like Jeremiah Berger about to grab the darts out of the board. They actually are going to have to probably replay that second leg there that they just got into.
That's a bummer. Because Brian Dennis had a 9 mark and was looking for another, it looked like.
Yeah, if that happens, assuming the game doesn't immediately load back into the same spot, the typical ruling would be that they would have to replay that leg. Of course,
that's weird because it should just reset to the right spot.
It should, but it doesn't always. So they're going to have to see.
Right.
Well, while we're doing that, I guess we'll just kind of...
Tony's in his hey dudes. I appreciate that.
And it's only this one. Actually, let's hop on over to board number 1 because they're in action right now. Their board didn't go down.
That was a weird little power surge that the building had there.
It may be the power strip. It could have been the board itself. Who knows? But we're live here. Let me go ahead and change that board around for you so we actually have our board number 1.
Derek Hinkle there hitting a 7 mark, and someone I actually got a chance to interview as well because he is was the representative that interviewed on behalf of Horizon Darts, L-Style, and Monsta.
Well, look at that. Big boom goes a dynamite. 7 mark for Hunter Van Beek.
Crummy man.
Dr. Handsome Johnny Lackey here, a man that has educated me on darts fashion and looking sharp in tournaments, although he admits this is the first time he's ever gone to a dart tournament without bringing slacks. His reason? Because of COVID, he's been playing in jeans.
Well, here's Wes White.
Don Kirby saying, I'm at the hotel down the street, and power went out for a second there as well. So, yeah, it looks like there was a little weird power glitch in Missouri here. Cal must have tipped over or something.
That is weird.
That's Don the Chatterbox. I was wondering why I couldn't hear you. Down the street.
Does Derek look up? It looks like he's staying down.
Oh, he did look to stay down.
In 2018, in the no-cap doubles, I actually played Wes White and Kyle Liticky.
Okay.
And
That
then
didn't sound like it was fun for you.
I missed my out in 01, and that's all it took.
Yep. That'll do it.
And let's be honest, it was not close. Those guys are some talented shots. Wes White, no stranger to darts greatness, and someone that has been trying to get back onto the scene a little bit more lately. I know he did have a cancer diagnosis at about 2019-ish, and I think he did take a little bit of break from darts around that time, and is back at it again.
He's been doing great. Looking great, playing well.
Everybody in South Dakota called him Pops.
Yep.
I don't know if you didn't know that one. He's well known. Been in the PPD system for quite some time now. Actually, they had a replay of the 2012 Tournament of Champions out there in the hall, and Wes White was one of the ones I saw.
Well, there you go.
And not to toot our own horns, but it is kind of crazy looking back at some of those old footages, seeing the 2012 tournament from 10 years ago and how the broadcast looks nowadays, and just seeing where darts has grown since then as well.
You ain't a wolfing.
Well, Wolf and I ain't. Johnny Lackey coming up here. Has a good opportunity. Probably going to take those 18s out pretty early into this throw. I mean, he only needs 2 singles. You'd have to imagine it's got to go.
And there it goes. Right on the money.
This is a last chance game, so whatever team loses is out of the tournament. And the winner of this match does play Skylar Lepine and Billy Meyer from D&D Amusements.
Derek drops his second dart. Going to regroup here. Figures out what he wants to do.
If he trips to 17, do you think he looks at the 16?
I think so.
You have to stay now.
Yep. Yeah, he had to try and fit it in there. Did not do that.
I'm going to give a quick shout out here to the handful of players that have won at least twice now with a 50K Supercharger by their name. So far, there's players. These are the players with 2 or more wins.
Big darts there.
In first place, regardless of what division they are, they still get a share of the $50,000 pool. We have Ben Drew, Chris Coons, Jordan Z, Karen McGee, Ryan Westover, Brandon Westover, Todd Weigman, Brian Cassidy, Joseph Seaberger, Caleb Hunter, and Bobby Ames. They have all won at least twice in first place, meaning right now those players are getting an extra $1,300 in their pocket on top of their event bracket winnings.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good stuff indeed. Nice little added bonus for just being here and winning an event.
And we'll see after this evening, the final totals will be in place because, of course, players that have won this morning in first place and players winning this evening will change that amount, dollar amount, and there's going to be new names on that list. But I just want to give a little special shout out as I saw that stat up on the screen and wanted to let everyone know.
Well, here we go. Hunter Van Beek to take out Johnny Lackey. That'll do it.
Hunter's a young buck, isn't he?
He is.
He's 23. We asked him last night. His lovely wife, I believe it is, or girlfriend is
Madison back there.
20. How about that?
To be 23 again, I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, 1 year ago, bud.
Here's
Alrighty.
Maya Berger.
Yeah, heading back on over. This is
Maya.
No,
this is
Stevenson.
Yeah.
Anthony. That's
Yeah.
weird.
I think what happened when they reloaded the game they might have reloaded it at the right point of the game, but maybe the wrong throw order. Very interesting.
Real weird. See, they're just now realizing that they...
Nope, they just now realized what they did.
Yep. They're
That's not good.
gotta get help now. That's what I was just about to say. I think they just realized it.
Well, we're going to have the PPD staff, or they're going to have the PPD staff take a look at it, or at least agree upon a solution themselves here. Why don't we take a look at the bracket in the meantime while they figure this out here?
That's me. No.
Well, it looks like they're going to play through it.
Okay.
Doesn't seem like it's going to be super impactful here. So maybe they just decided, hey, forget about it. Don't even worry. Let's just play through it. And mistakes like this happen. If Brian Dennis wins this, Brian Dennis and Jesse Gore win this, they will be going to the king seat match, guaranteeing themselves top 4 position.
There's Tony.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to play through this way.
Yep, Jesse Gore only needs 2 bulls to wrap it up.
I expect to see him to go here. One's good.
There it is. Jesse Gore takes it down. Let's go.
Neil Big Boy saying, is this streaming on YouTube as well? It is over on USA Darts over on YouTube and Darts TOC on YouTube as well.
Well, well, well. Look who's sitting in that king seat spot. If it isn't our good buddy Jules Van Dongen and Mike Carter. So they will take on Jesse and Brian in that king seat spot coming up next.
Exciting things ahead here. On the other end of the brackets, it looks like on board 1A we have Isaac and Johnny, Tony and Jeremiah called up there, but they're going to take a few moments to set up here. So looks like we're going to take a quick little break here, jump to some ads for a moment while we wait on our next match, and then we're going to be bringing the action right back to you. But, of course, I am Nick Dichiria, joined by none other than the legend, Sean Green.
Thank you.
And, of course, Will Stuart, the GOAT of USA Darts. Don't go anywhere, folks. We have some darting action coming to you in just a moment.
Don't go anywhere, guys.
Darts.
It's brand month, and we're featuring Target darts all October long, starting with our dart of the month, which is going to be the Hema darts range. Purchase any Target Hema barrel, and you're going to receive a free gift consisting of select assortment of 3 Target flights. We're also offering select Target accessories for a discounted price, including our huge variety of Swiss points, as well as an assortment of shafts that are all red in color. So we've got the Pro Grip Evo shafts, the standard Pro Grip shafts, and also the Pro Grip Ink. So the idea is you can complement your new Hema barrels and have everything match. We also are offering the black pixel tips, and finally select Tacoma cases. For example, the red ink case, one of my favorites. So match up with your Hemas. And finally, A to Z Darts is offering a Think Pink promotion. So you can select printed L-Style flights. If you buy 2 sets, you're going to receive a free L-Style goodie bag consisting of flights, Laro shafts, and tips. So that's like a $18 value. So it's a pretty sweet free gift for what you're putting in for the sale. Think Pink, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the month of October. Have a great Halloween. Love you. Bye.
5 total options in the Hema range, 3 steel tip labeled 01 through 03, and 2 soft tip variants labeled 10 and 11, with multiple barrel weights for each option. Now, common themes that they all share are bold red and black accents along a silver barrel. They all have striking radial grooves in certain sections that are offset by small axial cuts. And all steel tip barrel versions are fitted with smooth silver Swiss points. You can purchase these barrels on our website, a2zdarts.com. Just look for the link in the description, and I hope you enjoyed this review as well as the rest of the 2021 launch. We've reviewed it all, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on future range reviews, as well as our review of the new Target dartboard. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back here. We are live again for the No Cap Doubles at the Tournament of Champions, taking a look at another last chance side match. Billy Meyer versus Skylar Lepine, Hunter Van Beek, Wes White. One game to take it all. Looks like they just got the diddle out of the way, and it is time to get ready to rumble.
Y'all ready for this?
Bum, bum, ba-na-na-na-na, bum.
Oh.
Sometimes
awkward.
we're very serious, and sometimes Will and Sean and I are just all messing with each other. But who's not messing around? These players at
Why
the
do you
board.
do that? Why? Why? I love you so
What was wrong with
much.
that? What was wrong with any of that?
Nothing at all.
Guys, in chat, let us know. Was there anything wrong with what I said there? Well, it's time to get this rager of a match going.
All right. Wes White. Wes White steps up here, 19s. Gets only 4 of them. Skylar Lepine's partner, Billy Meyer, is going to step up.
4 marks for both teams to start off here.
It's a great shot from Billy.
Jeff,
I like his throw a lot.
it's clean.
It's very, very smooth.
Jeff Helmer saying, what division is this? This is the no cap division. So there's divisions 1 all the way down, I believe, to division 20. And then this is going to be the no cap division as well.
Hunter threw the last start with some oomph and got it to sticking. That's what he was looking for. But is it enough? Not really. Skylar Lepine. He just pushed it straight from his eye.
He kind of has that, like, almost like he pulls himself back as his arm pushes out to add a little bit of momentum to his throw. You see that a lot of times with players that at one point had struggled to release a dart. Try to use the rest of their body as, like, reminders to not have their muscles stiffen up and to let go. I mean, and that's something you have to do because the muscle memory is such a core component of throwing darts.
Billy this go around is not as steady as the first shot that we saw from him. He was moving a little bit more there with his body.
Well, it's also a little bit of the pressure. I mean, you know, if you lose this, you're out, and it adds some intensity to this affair.
Well, Jake, be careful with typing it out. Now he knows where we are.
Skylar Lepine stepping up to make his mark and kind of continue what they're heading.
Sorry about that, guys. Hunter Van Beek stepping up. Can't do a whole lot now. Skylar Lepine and Billy have done some work while we've been off.
Every once in a while, you get a couple people that jump in here, say hello. So
Yeah, that's Miss
just out of
Albany.
courtesy,
Says hi.
we turn off our mics just because you don't know what state that person is until afterwards. But no, I mean, we had fun. We just turned them off just in
It was
case.
definitely one of Will and Sean's fans to say.
No.
Please.
It was.
Now,
it's
Miss
always great.
Albanita, actually, we know her from Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Super sweetheart.
You know, she was funny.
Great
she
shot, too.
was calling me the kid of the group, and then she said I might be driving the boys to drink, and I'm going to have to agree with her. Billy Meyer, Skylar Lepine taking this one here.
Well, here we go. We're going to hop on over to our board number 1E as Jules Van Dongen and his partner Mike Carter are taking on Brian Dennis and Jesse Gore. Let's go ahead and take you on over there now.
The 1E. The E stands for everyone needs to watch this right here because this is going to be a great match. As we saw Jesse Gore and Brian Dennis actually take down Jeremiah Millar and Leonard Gates earlier in this event.
Yeah. Did we mention they're out of this tournament? This is the King Seat match, correct?
This is. So it's going to be race to 4 format, all cricket. Looks like Jules and Carter won the diddle, so they'll be going first here. Time to see some great darts from these guys.
All right, there's our first look at Jules tonight.
4 for 5 on the weekend.
He does have that one loss. Way to keep bringing it up, Will.
Hey, that's still a good stat. I asked him. Me and him actually just chatted for a little bit out there, and I said, hey, that's a big win there, man. That's probably the biggest win so far. He's like, yeah, felt nice to get one under my belt, especially to get one up on Leonard because he's had my number for a little bit, and he felt like that was something that he can take and use as a little confidence booster going back overseas. So let's see what he does as Brian Dennis throws in a nice 9.
Yeah, Brian Dennis used to doing that. Boom goes the dynamite Brian Dennis. Here's Mike Carter. Been throwing very well all weekend long as we see only 3 from him, though.
Brian Dennis was one of those people that helped to kind of ironically perpetuate the boom goes phrase because they were the 9-mark record holder for a long time.
Oh, Jesse started to walk that third dart in, ended up turning his body just a tad into the trip 5.
Now, meeting Jules in person, I did meet him back in New York, but properly getting a chance to talk with him out here was nice. But it was really cool to actually chat with his dad. His dad just wanted to thank us for what we did and also talk to us about the experience of watching Jules in person, coming over here and checking everything else out. And he was talking about how surreal it is to see all this and kind of it makes it feel a little bit more real when you're in the room. And really, he just had nothing but kind words to say, and it was really insightful to talk with him.
Yeah, his dad Jack's really nice. Oh, Brian. Uh-oh, what would Sean say? See, that last dart is sticking above the double 20.
Jesse Gore does a shield the eyes on there. Ton 80 Dart Supplies here says, let's go Jules and Carter. Dennis and Gore can shoot somewhat good as well. Somewhat good is an understatement as Jesse Gore averaged over a 5.0 in our recent CSC and broke the Skybox curse, the curse breaker, if you will. I actually talked to Jesse Gore in his interview. He mentions that he's never had a nickname in darts. And so I'm trying to get this curse breaker thing started for him.
It's okay.
I'll go with Big Easy on Hinsey if you go with curse breaker on Jesse. Deal?
No.
All right.
Yeah, that's probably fine. As we see Jules Van Dongen get in what he needed to get done. Takes the point lead. Closes off the 19s. So you're going to see Brian go to the 18s, see how many he can get. How about all of them? Gets all of them. Boom goes the dynamite Brian Dennis.
So he goes 9 mark, boom, and then 9 mark.
Yep, that's why you do not shoot at the doubles. Because you're bound to hit the triples.
Well,
Mike Carter. Oh, 7 of his own. I'm surprised he stayed there on that last start, did not move over to the 18s.
One of the things I talked about with you earlier, Sean, was the difference of seeing how triples, it's hard for players to remain hot, to remain throwing strong, because they're so long in between each throws that even if they are hot or on fire, it's really hard to tell because they only get to throw 3 darts out of every 9. And here you kind of get to see in doubles the players really start to shine almost.
Yeah, and they've also been throwing all day. That's not waking up early in the morning just to throw darts. So there's a couple of other avenues on why they throw a bit better in doubles in the evening. But that's definitely one of the reasons, for sure.
We'll get some more darts in the board, a little bit more rhythm. Just it makes them feel a little bit closer to the action. There's not huge gaps where you're coming up to different board states each time. You're in a lot more control because how you shoot your turn pretty much dictates how your opponent will shoot theirs.
Jesse looking at the 16s to get the point lead back. And oh, he went at the 17s on dart 3. That's a bold move, Cotton. We're going to see if it pays off for him.
Do you think that was an accounting error?
No, I think it was a mental error.
Well, looks like it's going to hurt.
No, not the sting that Jules wanted to land. But it was a buddy shot. It did some damage.
It is, but it's also going to be a situation where, even if they go trip on the 16, they will not have the point lead if they decide to close the 17s. I do think there's an argument to close them pretty soon, though.
Well, Brian Dennis says otherwise. Gets 6 16s. Here's Mike. Yep.
Mike Carter earlier playing triples with, I believe, Austin Braswell, Jesse Gore, right?
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
Brian Dennis and Austin Braswell.
That might hurt. That right there is probably going to hurt.
Jesse needs to capitalize.
It's not going to hurt as much as he wanted it to.
And that's a bad situation with Jules right behind you. Jules just needs a 5 mark here. Trip 15, single 15, single 16.
There's the trip 15. Got the hard part out. There goes the single 16, and did it.
Huh. It's like I could see the future. Nick Stradamus at it once again. Although I do like Shiloh in the chat keeps saying, I want to keep trying this Nicolicious thing until it sticks. Keep trying. It's pretty good, though. Not going to lie.
Ooh, look at this. Oh.
And that's Brian Dennis's never say die attitude.
Away, but will Mike Carter get the 3?
He's going to right there.
Yeah, he does.
That was coming out too easy. Game 1.
Made that look easy, that is for sure. 1-0. Van Dongen and Carter. Let's race to 4.
Oh, look at that. Little love there between Brian Dennis and Mike Carter as they did play triples together this morning. And you can see as much as they are opponents, they are also friends here.
Brian deciding to move over to the 18s. Gets 2 wedges and points the 18.
Is it fair to say that normally that's not the ideal shot? But I think in a situation where you're going against Jules, kind of going a little wide, going a little bit more thermonuclear, might actually not be too bad of an approach.
Well, we'll see what happens. So far, I like it. So far, I like it a lot.
And it works well because his partner supported the strategy. If you're going to play aggressive, you're going to play by getting multiple numbers rather than big points, your partner has to support it as well. You can't have one and then the other.
Well, we'll see what Brian does.
A 4 mark
get the
gets
point lead.
ahead. There's over 665 of you guys in chat tuning along for the Tournament Champions. Make sure you give a like, share, maybe even a little comment. Let us know where you're watching in from because we appreciate everyone's support.
Yeah, guys, let us know where you are watching from. Sean Green, Nick Dichiria, Will Stuart, live at the KCI Center or KCI Expo Center in Kansas City, Missouri, for the Tournament of Champions 2022. The Partners Promoting Darts.
The CSI champion there hitting a round of 9.
Yeah, boom goes the dynamite there for Jules Van Dongen.
The thing is, though, his third dart, he had to stay on the 17. He couldn't take a risky close because there's 2 numbers open. I'm thinking that the 2018 opening has been paying off quite well.
Yeah, I would think so too. There's the let's go from Jesse Gore.
Jesse Gore prone to some celebrations every now and again, and if you are near him and he's playing one of the tournaments, people tell you don't stand near him because he'll give you a hard high five, the type of one that you'll feel for a while.
We all have those friends. Wow.
Very aggressive close. Oh my goodness, he's I don't know if I love that last dart, Brian. I'm gonna be honest.
Hate it, hate it, hate it. Not with Jules coming up.
I liked the second dart. I liked going for the 16 close.
Jules can white horse here.
But exactly, why would you give the opportunity to Jules?
Jules can white horse here. Jules white horse here.
Brian knows.
Wow.
Look at Brian's face. He knew that that was a mistake, and he got punished for it.
Wow, wow, wow.
And all of a sudden, this is a 3-3 bull race in a game where Brian Dennis and Jesse Gore were leading it.
Miles away. Miles.
It's just
wow.
A series that should be 1-1 is now 2-0. What a huge upset in that leg. That was incredible capitalization from Mike Carter and Jules Van Dongen there on a strategic error.
Well, that was just a Jules white horse. That's what that was.
It was a Jules white horse, but that's also not just his white horse. It was the fact that he was able to capitalize in a situation. It adds pressure when you know you have to do it right there or you're going to miss that opportunity.
Yeah, Brian had an unforced error there, that's for sure. A third dart. He'll kick himself on that one if they end up losing the match.
Lisa says it best in chat. She said, whoa.
Dynamite drop in.
Jesse Gore has been playing so good in these legs here. I mean, look at that. He's not really missing much. Jesse Gore has been consistent. He's feeling good, and as I've told him in the past, his game has went from great to greater lately.
Yeah, you can just see the confidence growing in Jules as the weekend goes on. He's just getting more and more confident, more and more likely that he's going to hit the shot that he needs to hit.
I got an urgent report from Carly Griggs right now. I just got a message from her saying the brackets for the finale are about to go live. So after this match, we're going to cover those finale brackets.
Ooh.
Super exciting stuff.
Threaten me with a good time.
Well, I know just as much as we're itching to see who's going to be playing in the finale tomorrow with what partners, these players want to know.
Yeah,
they need most of these players, unless they find their partner tonight, won't meet them until they play tomorrow. That was me. When I played in my finale, I didn't meet my partner until the draw was about about 45 minutes before our match. And he said, "You want to go grab a drink in my hotel room?" And I said, "Absolutely."
Yep.
And a new friend was made that day.
Yep, absolutely it was. That's what you need to do. Mike Carter needs some 16s. An 8 mark will do it all. Oh, Mike. Hey, look at Dustin in the chat causing trouble. Causing trouble.
Hey, Dustin Holt, that's Will Stewart's dart tournament best friend.
Causing trouble, saying, looks like it's about time you guys showed some lower levels. Talking trash about these two. And Lisa's right on it. 15s are going, and he's going to have to hit a lot of them. Not going to this time, but still the important part is a 2-0 advantage. The break a throw there gives him a chance to win this without it having to go the distance.
Crazy stuff. As we noticed, Jesse Gore, Brian Dennis learned their lesson. They are not going to go light on the points this game, as in a series where they really should be 1-1, they're now looking to be 2-1, trying to catch back up.
Yeah, Mike Carter just practicing the trip 20 there on Dart 2, knowing that here we go, 2-1 lead if Brian shuts the door. Gets it done.
Brian Dennis, Brizzle, as he is going, Brizzle, in reference to Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
That's what he told me. This is his new nickname, and it was on the back of his jersey this morning.
I saw
that one's not off the dome for once.
I thought it was Mrs. Dennis.
No, that's his other nickname. You know, someone commented, "I love me some Mrs. Dennis," and then Brian copied and posted that same comment. They said, "Well, we would hope you do," because Allie Dennis is a sweet, sweet lady. Brian Dennis doing some good capitalization there. Jules only starting with a 2 mark on the 20. Brian Dennis doing a lot more than a 2 mark, that's for sure.
Samson saying the elite finale bracket is posted.
Yep, I just got a text right now. They went from about to be live to live. So I'm going to go ahead and take a quick little peek at those, but we're going to talk about that after this finale here, of course, because right now this King Seat match, before we talk about the finales.
Yep, not all three of us are looking at that or anything.
Definitely not looking at that one at all. But we'll keep you updated on that one afterwards, just so you guys can kind of see it as well. We'll pull it up on the screen for you guys. There's quite a number of individuals in the Elite Final.
Well, there's 3 divisions of the Elite Finals, because this is the main thing that all players are gunning to play in.
And that's the thing. We're scheduled for 10:30 to 4 o'clock tomorrow, but we're not going to stop streaming if the finale is getting done at 5 or 6 o'clock or later. Who knows where it could we end up. But
I should correct myself. There's 3 brackets for men and 3 brackets for women.
Oh,
so
okay.
6 finales in total. There's 3 different divisions, the top of which being elite, the middle being master, and the bottom being pro. And it's based off your performance and remote qualifiers that they did leading into this, based off vouchers earned from individual vendors. Back to the match here, though. Mike Carter needs to find another 19 here. Had to regroup.
All right. Sorry, I wasn't doing anything. There's some good teams.
There is. That bracket's exciting to look at, but we're going to have to hold off. It's like trying to be told the night before Christmas to not open the presents, because we're all like, I wonder who's got who, what's going on. And really, right now, there's action in front of us, too. I just don't know what to do with all this different things going on. Jules being dominant right now.
Yeah, Jules is dominating.
And think about it like this. Jules started with a 2 mark this game, and then now woke up. The dragon is flying and breathing fire.
2-1 scoreline. Trying to extend it to a 3-1 scoreline, but Brian Dennis, 7 marks on the 16. Here's Mike. Get rid of the 16. Nope, stayed on the 19 the whole way. I like that move. Jesse had a little like smooth dart flip. That was nice.
I never trust myself to do that in a actual match play, because I'm always worried of looking silly right before my turn.
You have to pick up the dart.
Yeah,
everyone.
you know, so it's one of those things I've never actually done in a tournament. I already am goofy enough as it is.
Jules, the backbreaker follow-through works every time. It's kind of weird. Have you noticed that? The backbreaker follow-through that he does?
Yeah, it's definitely kind of a unique follow-through. He kind of gets that little lunge forward, I like to say.
It's on like a, wow, look at Brian Dennis, but it's on like a, I need to get it type of shot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, here's a big one.
We have some people watching from the Netherlands right now to support Jules. Jesse Goyer, the opportunity to get himself and his team on top. He's looking at that 19. I think he has to go out.
Oh, he stayed.
Oh, I don't know if I love that move. I understand taking a look at it, but that's so risky.
I love that move if he hits it.
Well, here's the thing. If you're going to take a
Now I
shot
hate
at it, I feel like you stay on the 16 twice.
Wow, Jules doing dragon-like things.
Now a 9 mark is required to close the distance and get them within 1 mark of each other.
Nope, cannot do that.
Brian can follow it in from there, though. Kind of work it in. Field goal, posts are set up. Can he kick it through?
He does, but that's not going to be enough. Mike Carter will look straight at the 15s.
Raz in chat saying, I agree with Jesse there. I'm not saying that the close was bad per se, but the fact that he said 2 darts at it is so risky knowing who's behind you. You have to play to the person you're playing against at least a little bit there.
Well,
this is looking like it's going to go
be 3-1.
3-1, which again, I'm still troubled to believe that the series would not be at least 2-2 right now if it weren't for the misstepping from the other game.
Well, there we go. 3-1 lead. Jules Van Dongen, Mike Carter. They've been a pretty dominant force this entire weekend. Keeping it going today.
3-1 in this series now. Match point for Van Dongen and Carter. Gore and Dennis need to find some fire and not only win this, but then break the throw as well.
Brian, only a 4-mark start. And I say only a 4-mark because of this. Right here.
Well, you might be right there, buddy.
Uh-huh.
You might be looking like a genius.
Pretty close. Pretty close to genius.
You know, pretty close to genius is close enough in my book.
It's easy to rely on the top-level player to do top-level player stuff, so.
Jesse Gore, like I said, been really playing solid lately. Has really picked up his game and brought it from good to greater. Mike Carter, always a fantastic shooter. And I want to give some respect to Mr. Carter. Oh my goodness, look at him go.
Boom, boom, boom. Mike Carter, an 8-mark.
But I want to give some respect as, you know, he was talking about playing with Austin Braswell and the fact that he's newer to the game and a younger shooter. And he just only had nice things to say, and it seemed like he was really taking it as a opportunity to mentor a new mind to the game.
That's a big 7-mark from Brian Dennis. Gets the point lead, but not for long. There go the 18s. Jules is on a mission. Wow.
I mean, you can't blame the guy for going in here and trying to win it all.
He's doing his best to get that accomplished right now.
When you have multi-day tournaments like this, and maybe Will has some good advice on this as well, as he's covered a lot of these events, you typically notice that when you have a room full of high-level players, there's always that 1 or 2 that are truly just feeling it that whole weekend. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. There's definitely going to be your individuals that are prepared, put in the time, the week to maybe the month prior to the event. Maybe they're just feeling good going into a month's string. It's just like a baseball player. Sometimes you are on a streak. Sometimes you're on a streak of bad luck. it happens. But yeah, there's individuals that are just on fire for the weekend, and some that are just hit or miss.
You know, it's funny. I mean, at least as a player, I've had tournaments where I was practicing leading up to a tournament, playing terrible, and then all of a sudden you get to the event venue and day one, it's just all of a sudden all those things you were overthinking about, you're already there. You kind of put them in the back of your mind and you start playing. And players that have been struggling might wake up when they come to tournaments. Players that are good might become great when they're playing in these tournaments as well.
Well, Jules is great, and he's going to show it again right here. Gets the 7 mark.
Called that one out,
Wow.
there, buddy. Why don't you?
I mean, his greatness right now is Mike Carter's doing a great job. Okay, there's nothing against Mike Carter, but Jules is just not missing.
No,
he's not missing.
He's feeling confident in his stroke right now, and they're meshing. That team is meshing, and they're doing well. I could see them playing together in the future.
Great shooting there from Mike Cutter and Jules Van Dongen. Brian Dennis and Jesse Orr, other than that one round, really put up a formidable matchup against them. It kind of makes sense why we saw Leonard Gates and Jeremiah Millar go down to a team as strong as that. Looks like we're switching over here. Game 3. Kyle Liticky up at the line right now. Looks like he is playing with John Edwards.
Yeah, against the Florida team.
Yeah, your Florida boys there.
This is going to be our one-loss bracket. Just because I'm really good at process of elimination. Nick Selepic and Kenny Doyle won this event last night. They would like to win it again tonight.
And just to give a correction here, no, never mind. You said one loss, didn't you? I heard one game in my brain, and I processed what you actually said because I thought for more than 2 seconds. Something I very rarely do if you can't tell by my commentary.
Well, I appreciate you doing it for the first time ever.
Hey, I called myself back out before you could get to it. I apologize.
You know, you just...
Kudos. He called himself out.
you just settle down there, young buck.
Kenny Doyle, my league partner, stepping up to the line. I actually haven't played league with him in about 8 or 9 months now. I just decided to step back, especially once I knew for sure that we got this gig. Knowing I can't play in the big tournament champions, I decided I need to start preparing for the tournament champions in different ways. But someone I played league with time and time again. Nick Selepic, one of those other players that has coached me. And if Kenny can't play, guess who subs in for league for Kenny Doyle? Nick Selepic.
There you go. Well, they match their shoes. Look, they're wearing the exact same shoes.
And they match the color of their hair, too.
Which is pretty... Their whole entire outfit's matching. Except for the pants.
So
how do they
close.
How do they get the shoes correct?
Probably
and
bought them
dip
from the
out
same
on
store.
The pants. That's what I want to know. Still looking great right now. Here's John Edwards.
Look at him go there, doing some damage on the 19s. Alexa say there for all 3.
Boom goes the dynamite there for John Edwards.
Kenny Doyle, on the other hand here, needs to regain the lead that was just lost as we're in a true 20-19 battle. This is round 7. Game 3.
Yeah, this is a real point battle, that is for sure. See what Kyle can do. Kyle won the no-cap triples this morning, and that's how he got it done. Boom goes the dynamite Kyle Liticky. Back-to-back 9s for that team.
Kyle
Now
Liticky,
find themselves in control.
Kyle Liticky, 2018 CSI winner.
Well, the 2022 CSI winner is waiting in the king seat. Who will he do battle with? That remains to be seen, as this bracket still has a bit of time left to go.
And you know what's nice is, yes, we have. Do they have this doubles no cap every night, and have we covered it? This is now the 3rd time covering it. Yes. Do you know what's nice about it? How many times has this bracket shaped up in different ways?
Every time. Actually, technically, the first night and this night has been pretty similar.
I was hoping you'd let it slide. Kenny Doyle not going to let this game slide, though. He's going to play everything he's got into it. You can see the fire in his eyes.
Look at that. Kenny Doyle, 7 mark. You called it, bud. Definitely getting that accomplished. This is... They're on the 19s and 18s. A long way into this leg so far. Round 9. There's the point lead. And he stays there. They're okay with this going 20-round limit. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to be okay with it, because if you don't have a good opportunity, you're not going to take too big of a risk on game 3. And if everyone's shooting the same, it's about who has the most at the very end here. This is back and forth right now. You have to wonder who's going to give first. So Stanley in the chat saying, he was asking a few questions about why the board's bigger and just soft tip darts in general. And he says it's much more easy. Van Dongen should destroy the rest. And while has he done very well and see a top level shot? Absolutely. I will never disagree with that. But what we will say is that the darts is harder than it looks, regardless if it's soft tip or steel tip. It's different types of competition because the trebles are bigger, meaning the strategies are a little bit different because you're expected to hit more.
Strategies are a lot different.
So that's going to be one of the big factors here. Of course, we're also talking cricket versus what's typically 0-1 on steel. So there's a couple of different subtleties, and the fact that Jules has not won every event he's played in is a testament to that.
Well, he's won most of them, but you're right along those lines. And here's what I would say: how many steel tip cricket legs are going to go above 1,000 points for both teams?
Well said. I mean, it's not something that typically happens because you'll run out of markers at that point.
Chat's getting weird. The YouTube chat is getting pretty weird here.
John Edwards stepping up. I mean, this is a tight battle because you expect him almost to hit at least a 7 mark in return. If he gets a single here, he has a point lead. Might go for it, but he might stay.
He's
Both
going.
are good.
He goes and hits. But was that a risk willing to take? Kenny Doyle just needs 4 16s to regain the point lead.
Both strategies are worth considering there. I don't think there's a correct one in that scenario. It's about your play style at that point. You won't know if you did the right thing until the next shot happens. In that case, it looks like they did the right thing.
Do the same thing.
Kyle here has the point lead. Expands it by just a few. Gonna be now a 15-17 battle, it seems, as this game is poised to almost go all 20.
There's the point lead. Ooh, he went for the close there.
Ooh.
It's I think they're trying to avoid a round-out scenario because the lower number versus the higher number in a point-only battle will obviously be harder to win on.
Well, you can see Kenny shake his head in the background and go, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
And Nick and him conversing about it, saying, I might as well take a shot at it. See what I can do. John looking to take advantage, though.
Needs a triple.
Stayed there and hit the triple. But see if Kenny can come back and do the same.
Kenny looks like he's primed to capitalize here.
Kenny always looks like he's primed to capitalize. He's got the same exact look on his face, same exact stance, no matter what.
Triple two, triple two. Even Nick is pained and anguished back there. He knows how big of a miss that was.
Yeah, that present got delivered to the wrong house.
Got delivered to the neighbor's house twice. And Kyle knows what the game is that they're going to play.
I mean, you have 4 rounds left. This is the only way this goes. Unfortunate. Nick Slepic having a pretty strong TOC for himself
has had a good
after what I would say is a period of him struggling. And he'll say that himself. Now he's really been grooving again, and just unfortunate time for him to have a little slip up almost.
Well, there goes the 15s. I like the 16-15 transfer. I don't know if I like the 16 or the 15-16 transfer, but John Edwards does. And he stays there.
And that's important because it really gets Kenny and Nick into a mathematically eliminated position here if they play for a round out. It almost kind of guarantees that this leg is going the other direction for them.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see kind of what will happen. You never know.
You never know.
It's still within reach there. 78 points is... It's a lot, but Liticky's going to try and win this thing right now anyway. Staying on it? Nope. Goes down and trips a 17.
Round 18, so just 18, 19, and 20 left. That means 2 throws left for Nick Slepic, 2 throws left for John Edwards, 1 for each of the other gentlemen here.
Well, look at this.
Another one of those would be nice.
He got most of it back. 5 bowls. Nick letting everyone know it's not over yet, but John Edwards can just go for the win here. If I'm him, do you go for the win?
John has to shoot right at this bull here.
He is.
Important dart.
Oh, boy.
A little pressure on it now.
Oh,
my.
my goodness.
What
Winning
is
darts
happening?
for Kenny Doyle.
What is happening?
Winning darts for Kenny Doyle. 1 bullseye, and he can go at closing.
What
This
a
would be
time
devastating.
To do that.
Oh, Kenny does not take advantage. But
Heartbreaking
and doesn't
stuff.
even hit a lot of points, which would have been huge.
Oh my. Oh my. I'm speechless here. That is incredulous stuff that we're seeing.
Oh, here we go. Kyle Liticky for the win. He's stepping back. Do you go for it?
Well, next round's last round.
No, he knows better.
Next round's last round. If he, on the off chance, even though he should be able to hit the ball, on the off chance he can't or doesn't, he knows that 17 made a difference here.
Well, it did because of that right there.
Doesn't leave 3 dart out.
Yep.
Slepic has to stay in point. And hope it's enough.
Double bowl needs to be hit here, and it does not hit.
And just a
So
single
round
lead.
out for John Edwards. Probably won't happen. He'll probably get the point lead and close on the bowl.
It
you
doesn't
never
really.
know.
It doesn't matter after he hits his first dart here. So first dart just needs to hit a single, and after that it doesn't matter. He can throw the bull, close it out before the round up. But that's a very dicey way
What
to
a
end a
win
leg.
there. And did you see my wife's comment? She goes, "Oh, came to tune in here instead because the YouTube comments were tossing me into what can only be described as another dimension."
Getting a little strange over there.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it on my phone, but our restream chat isn't pulling it, so I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, it's real weird.
Yeah.
All right. King seat is set. That's Jules
Yep.
and Mike Carter.
And then on the other end there, John and Kyle are going to move on to play Isaac and Johnny here. As you see my dad walk out with that Boom Goes to Wisconsinite jersey there.
Looking
Beautiful
great
stuff.
Go Pack, go.
Looking at the other end of the bracket, Eric and Steve against Mark and Todd just finished up. They moved on to 6th place, waiting on the 7th place match here. It looks like they're going to spend a little bit of time getting everything set up for our next match. So why don't we take a little
Ad break? Nope. We got something coming up. We got something coming up. Oh, look at that. Not coming up.
Wow.
Going. We got ourselves a little...
Well, it looks like we're just watching these guys warm up here as it's just Johnny Lee playing against Isaac Robinson because they were waiting on John and
There
Kyle.
we go. All right.
Oh, my gosh. You had me going
didn't
there.
I?
I was like, nope, they're
I was
waiting
like, I'm
for a
pretty
match.
sure that all the bracket is waiting to move on right now.
Let's go ahead and take a look at that bracket. What do you say, bud?
Sounds good. We're going to get a little look here of that bracket.
Oh, yeah, sure. All right, as you can see now, Isaac and Johnny will be playing against John and Kyle on 1G. The winner of that one is sitting in that spot over there, which means they are looking at that third place match. Looking at how many matches we have left. Going on right now, Anthony and Jeremiah, Tony and Maya Berger, Tony Stevenson, Kenny and Nick. Board 1F is where that is going to be happening. So we have a couple matches coming up soon.
Look at Mark and Todd right there real quick. I just want to give a shout out. So Mark Mears, of course, Florida player, but Todd Wiegman, he has actually won twice today. He has had 2 first places so far, meaning he has gotten 2 shares of that bonus pool, and so pretty good week for him. No wonder he is doing well in the no cap.
Yeah, and Todd's a nice guy too. I got to meet him out front. Really nice guy.
And I see like seems like we have a few moments here. We're gonna take a quick step away.
Thought you guys wanted to look at the finale bracket.
Oh yeah.
You guys forgot about that, didn't you? Take a look at the finale bracket. Let's take a
As you
look
can see, our
real quick.
communication skills have been on point today.
Well, we're going to look here instead. See what we see. That's Leonard Gates. His partner's Mike Downing. And their opening round opponent, Jake Smith and Larry Keith.
You might have to zoom out.
Yeah, it doesn't help the actual seeing the box.
Yeah.
But looking and scrolling through some of these, Jordan Meyer, Jeff Simdorn, Jeff Burning and Scott Mikovic. Jesse Gore, Corey Lammers. How about that? Jeremiah Berger and Matt Graff.
Pretty solid team right there.
How about John Pilgrim and Jeremiah Millar?
Interesting draws. There's some interesting draws indeed.
Brandon Westover, Skylar Lapine.
Sorry, Skylar, you had to play with Brandon.
How about Dario Meza and Jules Van Dongen?
Ooh, that's not a bad partner for Jules.
Yeah, this is shaping up. They get to take on Isaac Robinson and John Campbell in the first round.
And just a reminder, folks, this is happening tomorrow morning. Live stream at 10:30 for that event. So tune in.
For $20,000.
Yeah, 10 grand
First place
apiece.
team.
Gary
In a
and
blind
Cole
draw
and
format.
My buddy Chuck. How about Mark Mears and Willie Walker?
That's a solid team as well. Willie walking on water Walker.
All righty, well, there we go. We'll take just a quick peek there, and if you want to go ahead and head on over to CompuSport and check out the rest, you are more than welcome to. CompuSport.us, I believe it's what it is, right?
Yep.
CompuSport.us or the CompuSport app. Take a peek and see the bracket for yourself. All righty, folks, well, we're going to take a quick break before we have
Chenzo
our
and
match
Don
between Nick Slepic, Kenny Doyle, and their opponents. So hang tight. We'll be right back with some more action.
Don't go anywhere, folks. Hi there, everybody. I'm Nick the Sheriff from USA Darts, joined by one and only Kyle Liticky, one of our favorites from the TOC, a past champion of the CSI in 2018, and a second in the finale as well. Kyle, first off, how are you?
Doing good. Thanks for asking. Playing a lot of darts and looking forward to a good weekend of darts, hopefully.
Well, we're excited to see you out here because you're one of the most experienced players as far as not only darts, but specifically TOC and PPD. I mean, you've been a part of the program for pretty much as long as it's been around almost.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it came into, but the first year was the only year I wasn't here, and after that I've been here every year since, aside from the COVID gap there, but yeah.
Well, we're excited to have this tournament back in person. I mean, having 2 years off from seeing everyone face to face, it's nice to finally be back. Let me ask you this. Now, the CSC, we've seen you on multiple times now. How does it feel playing a remote tournament against top averages versus something like tomorrow you're playing the CSI, which is an in-person tournament with high average players?
I like playing in person, probably more. I think as you get a little more involved, you're kind of connecting with that person, whether you're shooting, hopefully you're shooting good, but playing online though is great. I mean, you don't have to travel. You get the opportunity to play for the big bonus dollars against top caliber players from all across the country.
Well, you're a top caliber player yourself. I mean, time and time again, we've seen you post incredible averages, huge performances, and well, you're one of the few that I can say is a 5.0 average or more in this room. What do you do to kind of maintain those high averages? Do you practice a lot? What's your secret?
Not necessarily a regimen, but playing leagues consistently whenever I can, usually about 2 nights a week playing league, and then at home, even 15, 20 minutes on a board, a night does a lot to help to, kind of maintain that average and, stay at top level and, yeah, hitting the triples.
Well, that's the goal at the end of the day. With the CSI going on tomorrow, I mean, there's countless tough names. I've listed them off so many different times because they're every single name stuff, all 32. Yeah. What's going to be your key to coming out on top tomorrow?
Starting strong, I think, for opening the game strong, 7 and 9 marks, those are key, set control of the game, then kind of maintain a point lead. But there's some incredible players out there. I've done it before. I was able to come out on top in 2018, shot great all day then. So just got to come out and hopefully, try your best and have fun.
Well, 2018 is notable not only because he won the CSI, but because I went 3-0 in every event. And now with a lot of players that are, a lot of people that will be watching this for the first time, a lot of people might be introduced to darts because of the stream and watching high average players go at it. What advice would you give to somebody that's watching this and says, I want to play darts after this?
Yeah, to a new player, I would say, even joining leagues, obviously great. Find someone that maybe plays darts to kind of explain why you do things a certain way. I think that's certainly helpful as well. But yeah, have fun with it. Try to play. You don't have to play every single day of the week to be great. But just, join leagues, have fun, and try to just, get better every day.
Well, that's a great piece of advice there. And one final question I have for you, Kyle. There's a lot of rumors surfacing around that you are Carly Grigg's favorite player. Is that true? Confirm or deny?
I would have to confirm.
All right. Well, I'm Nick the Sheriff, joined by Kyle Liticky, live from the TOC 2022 Tournament of Champions. Thank you for your time, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
right, here for the one and done brackets, Jeremiah Berger and his partner taking on Nick Slepic and Kenny Doyle. Anthony Stevenson's Jeremiah's partner. There we go. Had to double check and look at my game screen there as I couldn't quite see it on my monitor. Sorry about that. A little bit too small for me. These eyes. So Nick and Kenny, your doubles chance last night. Looking for another one, but they got to go the distance in order to do it. And I would do the cake reference, but I'm no Sean Green, so we'll just keep that to his own verbiage. But Andy Stevenson with a big triple there, looking for another, gets it. Nice 7 mark there, 300 to 209. Kenny coming back up. Gonna have to load up the triple 19 bed here. Let's see what he can do. I always look at Kenny's stance, and although it's all just unique to himself, I mean, it works. It's relaxed. He always just looks so like he just goes up there and just nonchalantly throws the dart as he goes, and I love it. I personally love it. Oh, going at that trip 17, and he goes, oh, whoa, what was I doing there? Nick kind of looking at those ones like, what was that? I think Nick is kind of experiencing, a little bit of off and on. He's kind of gets hot and then he gets cold. I think he's been experiencing that for a while with the weight loss. I think that a weight change or a weight shift, especially as dramatic as he's gone through, can always be one of those things that is difficult. It's tough to transition over. I think Callie Morton, a young lady that's experienced a lot of the same things with the weight change, where they just haven't gotten quite back into form, but they're looking to. So hopefully that'll happen in the near future for Nick. Although he will tell you it was nice to get the win yesterday with his buddy Kenny. And he played well to get that win, honestly. He really kicked it in gear when he needed to, got the 9s, got a couple big 6, 7 marks when he needed to, and helped out his partner to get the win.
You could say that again. He's someone that puts a lot of expectations on himself to perform. He wants to it's not like he has the drive in the sense of like, I want to be the best in the room, but he wants to be self-reliant, so he's not disappointing his partners. And even though him and Kenny have a long history, he always is worried that about not playing up to snuff, how the expectations is and everything else. And he just is a guy that wants to do good, be competitive, and that's really what it's about. But yeah, you're right. That big win yesterday for them, huge stuff indeed.
Big shout out to Bart Baresh from Wichita tuning in, a little hometowner chiming in saying we're doing great. Appreciate that, Bart. Appreciate everybody else. Any Koala tuning in as well. I love that. Appreciate all the viewership. It's been amazing. We've had some incredible numbers, honestly. We've been around the 500 mark throughout our stream.
And peaking up at about 1,500 nearly, just shy of it.
Yeah, well, Jeremiah Berger, Anthony Stevenson, they're going to advance, and unfortunately the Florida boys are going to be out of this one, as it looks like it's just one of them unfortunate go-rounds. Maybe not the bracket they wanted to see, but checking out our other boards. Let me go ahead and check out and see where we're at on board 1A. We'll be warming up there.
I'm excited to see how this bracket unfolds here. I feel like when you look at each one, it's like reading a story. They all have something else to say. What we miss when we cover some of these featured matches is all the other matches playing side by side, the little jokes and small moments that happen, and the experience gained by these players, as some of them are trying to establish a name, some of them already have an established name, and some of them are just trying to have a good time.
All right, folks, bear with us. We'll have another match here momentarily on our stream of the Tournament of Champions 2022 live here from the KCI Expo Center in Kansas City, Missouri. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll have another one coming your way in just a moment's time.
Hashtag Sean is fired.
Month, and we're featuring target darts all October long, starting with our dart of the month, which is going to be the Hema darts range. Purchase any target Hema barrel and you're going to receive a free gift consisting of select assortment of 3 target flights. We're also offering select target accessories for a discounted price, including our huge variety of Swiss points, as well as an assortment of shafts that are all red in color. So we've got the Pro Grip Evo shafts, the standard Pro Grip shafts, and also the Pro Grip Ink. So the idea is you can complement your new Hema barrels and have everything match. We also are offering the black pixel tips, and finally select Tacoma cases. For example, the red ink case, one of my favorites. So match up with your Hemas. And finally, A to Z Darts is offering a Think Pink promotion. So you can select printed L-style flights. If you buy 2 sets, you're going to receive a free L-style goodie bag consisting of flights, Laro shafts, and tips. So that's like a $18 value. So it's a pretty sweet free gift for what you're putting in for the sale. Think Pink, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the month of October. Have a great Halloween. Love you. Bye.
Now there are 5 total options in the Hema range, 3 steel tip labeled 01 through 03, and 2 soft tip variants labeled 10 and 11, with multiple barrel weights for each option. Now common themes that they all share are bold red and black accents along a silver barrel. They all have striking radial grooves in certain sections that are offset by small axial cuts. and all steel tip barrel versions are fitted with smooth silver Swiss points. You can purchase these barrels on our website, a2zdarts.com. Just look for the link in the description, and I hope you enjoyed this review as well as the rest of the 2021 launch. We've reviewed it all, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on future range reviews, as well as our review of the new Target dartboard. Thanks for watching.
Alrighty, back here. Last chance. Sean slamming some food in the background. Anthony Stevenson and Jeremiah Berger taking on Todd Wigman and who's his partner there? Let me check here. Todd. I cannot see that because I am blind as a bat. Let me pull it up. Mark Todd. Oh, Mark Meyer's Todd. Well, that Todd's is the Wiggins' first name. Dummy. Wow, well, there you go. So, yeah, Mark Mears. There we go. I can't believe I didn't know that one. Sean's laughing himself away in the background. Hey, Sean, give me a chance. I don't get on the mic much this weekend, and then you're giving me stuff for it. Come on. As I play cameraman this weekend instead of the normal commentary gig as well.
Thank God.
We're trying here. We just appreciate everybody tuning in and enjoying our coverage. So like we were saying earlier, some great viewership already. We definitely appreciate all the support. It means a lot. If you're wanting to find out more about the Partners Promoting Darts system, definitely head on over to dartstoc.com. You can find out all the information about where to play and so much more. Definitely get involved. DRTs, triples events, national events, as well as our TOC here every October. As we first one back in a couple years, since 2019, I believe was the last go around. Nice to get back in the swing of things, and I'm glad to be a part of it. My first TOC, Sean's first TOC, Nick's, I think, sixth TOC, as that's hard to believe as he's only 24 years young, but very well could be the case. Mark here, stepping in. Gonna have to open up another number, possibly 18s. Sounds good. I can handle it. Does go ahead and close the 18s here, but doesn't point any. So Stevenson, I wonder if he's just going to go right at the 18s here. No, stays on the 17s, pads some more points before finally going up at that last dart and collects. Good shot indeed. 7 mark there for him. Stevenson and Berger making a charge on this last chance bracket. Todd only able to capitalize on 3 fat 16s as the Thunder Bunny is going to head back to his to his partner and wish for more. Gonzalo, we have no control over that one, man. The TOC or the PPD decides what comes our way. We were able to stream a little bit of D1 after our triples this morning, as we had a little bit of time, and we said, hey, if you've got some, bring them over. And they swung us on over for the conclusion of Division 1, which is nice. Of course, you wouldn't believe it, as Jules Van Dongen was in that bracket with Trisha Romero. Quality shots indeed. But
Jules who?
Jules Van Dongen, some Dutch Dragon guy, PDC player.
Hey, you see in our chat right now is Jeremiah Millar. Jeremiah, let us know, how do you feel about your partner that you got for the finale tomorrow? As John Pilgrim decides to take off right away.
Hey, I'm scared now.
He's like, all right, I don't want to know. See you later.
Well, John Pilgrim was one of those players that was really impressive on the CSC and someone that I see making deep runs in big tournaments. So having him and Millar together is a lethal combination.
As Nick sucks up in the background. What? John's not in here, is he?
Oh my God! I didn't see you over there. I'm so sorry. There. I mean every word I say. Wasn't paid to say it.
No, that's good. No, that's good. That is good indeed. All righty. Well, looks like we're waiting on our next match. I see Jesse Gore warming up on 1E. I wonder if he's coming on our way. Who's the? Check out our bracket real quick if we can.
Mark, yeah, you can pull it on up.
All righty, sweet. Let's go ahead and take a look here, folks, if we can. Cut on over to that one. There we go.
Wow. All right, so up on board 1B is going to be Tony and Maya taking on Mark and Todd. And then this is already happening right now. Kyle and John, Isaac and Johnny. Currently happening on 1G.
Okay.
That's at 7:12 p.m. So I'm guessing that one's got to be over with, right?
It's probably in the third game right now because they do have that 12 minutes to start. So after that, they're going to be
It's still
playing
over an hour.
7:12 or 7:39 right now. You are looking at East Coast time, my friends.
Actually, Kyle looks like he just won it there as I take a peek. Yep, Kyle and John winning that over the Knox Amusement boys.
We might be taking a look then at the end of the middle brackets as that will decide who goes in third and who goes in fourth.
So you'll see those two names will pop up over here, and we'll see who makes it.
Makes it on through.
You got to do the cough.
We have some tough games ahead for these guys. Excited to see how this bracket pans out here, aren't you, Will?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let's see how it pans out. Why don't you as well, folks, hang with us as we conclude our bracket this evening and our no-cap coverage of this doubles event.
I'm Sean Green. That's Will Stewart. And that is Nick Dichiria. And it's beautiful because you guys don't know which direction I'm pointing when I say that. We'll be back with more after our short break. Don't go anywhere, guys.
We'll be back soon enough. Hi, I'm Nick Dichiria from USA Darts, and now I am joined by Jordan Meyer, the Laughing Assassin here at TOC 2022.
Hi,
Jordan, how was your drive in here? How was everything?
Drive was good. Got here, I guess, good time on Friday, so hey, I'm ready to go.
Well, we're ready to see some action. You are one of our CSI participants here in a very, very tough bracket, which, I mean, we've seen you in the CSC. We've seen you time and time again. You've been in the PPD program for a while now. But do you ever get used to looking at those brackets and seeing all those big names, including your own, and, you know, getting the right headspace for it? How's that feel?
Oh, it feels good. I'm, you know, trying to still put my name up with the other guys, and it's like, do I belong or not? But guess what? Every time I seem to compete and advance farther than I think I should, so I think I do belong in this, and I think I'm going to do well.
Well, I mean, you're the Laughing Assassin. If we're putting your name out there, can you tell us why you're the Laughing Assassin?
Well, Eric Gregory gave me that name at Blueberry Hill, I would say about 10 years ago. I beat him in doubles, and then I beat him in singles, and he's like, all you do is get me laughing and talking, and then you slit my throat. You knock me out of the tournament. So That's how I got my name from him. He's like, "You're the laughing assassin." I get talking and I lose.
Well, you know, it's funny that you say that. TOC 2019, I had the pleasure of having the room next to yours, and
Yeah.
I can tell you, every moment when we hung out, it was absolutely a blast. I could not help but have a good time hanging out with you. What do you do to stay in such high spirits when you're at events? Do you just try to take your mind off and have fun, or like, what's your approach?
I'm not at work right now, so guess what? It's fun. This is a blast. Coming out, playing darts. This is my pressure reliever. People are like, "Oh, I get so tense playing." No, this is my pressure reliever. I have fun, and there's no reason not to have fun.
Well, I mean, if people were to watch you at the line, they would know that you're probably having more fun than anybody else in the room.
That's the goal.
And I assume it helps with your match mentality too, just being relaxed and not really like, it helps you avoid pressure, I would assume.
Yeah, you still feel a little bit of pressure, but it definitely avoids a lot more. It keeps me a little calmer, a little more sane than when I'm trying to hit a 9 mark time and time again. You know, it doesn't happen, so it just keeps me from getting frustrated.
Well, you're in a bracket with the top 32 shots in the PPD with some of the highest averages and some big names in there, including your own. For the people that are going to be watching that event and that might not play darts or just now picking up darts, what advice would you give them as a new player?
You got to learn to have fun before you take it too serious. That's what I would say first. If you don't have fun right now, you're going to get burned out and you're not going to go very far. You got to have a strong mentality, have fun, and then take it serious later on if you get better.
Well, better you have gotten. I mean, you maintain a nice high average. Do you have like a practice routine that you follow along with?
I wish I practiced more, but just league a couple nights a week and then a tournament on the weekend. That's what I do right now.
And then for all your fans that are going to be watching you, the countless fans even, watching along on the stream and everything this weekend, what do you want to say to them watching along?
Thank you all for your support. Thank you for, following along the Laughing Assassin story. You know, it's kind of crazy, but hey, we're having fun here today.
You don't know how to have anything except for fun. We're excited to see you toe the line against some great shots and doing some great darts on your own accord. I'm Nick Dichiria. This is Jordan Meyer, live from TOC 2022.
Awesome.
You just calm it down there, Jules. Welcome back to Kansas City, Missouri. Sean Green, Nick Dichiria, Will Stewart's eating his food. We are live at TOC 2022. This is John Edwards. That's Kyle Liticky. Behind them, Jesse Gore. And his partner is Brian Dennis.
Stepsley in chat saying, are you only streaming on YouTube, not Twitch? We are streaming on USA Darts on YouTube, Darts TOC on YouTube, and then also the USA Darts and Partners Promoting Darts Facebook pages. So we are live on 4 different platforms right now.
Oh, Jacob, getting in there, getting involved.
John, pretty much, okay, let's just be honest here. All 4 of these guys, no strangers to our stream this week, as they've been having some good runs. Liticky, Edwards, Gore, and Dennis, all CSI participants, all great players in their own regard, and there's a reason they keep ending up on the streaming board is because they keep hitting what they're aiming at.
Jules, Will responded by saying you'll have to play him for it. So
yes, you can have his leftovers.
So I guess you guys are going to have to stream that. But in the meantime, John Edwards doing battle with Brian Dennis here on the diddle.
Chris in chat saying, I'm going to come out of retirement next year and take it serious for once and come up and compete in this. He is someone that I've actually seen and used to play in the local travel leagues in Central Florida when I first started playing the game. He's also a very avid softball player.
I coached high school softball.
Did you know?
8 years.
What goes into that?
Being a teacher and the will and patience of a saint. No, I'm kidding. It is actually awesome. Those girls are fantastic. By far, my favorite sport to coach.
My roommate, Jason, that you like so dearly, goes to softball every Wednesday and is trying to convince me to go out there. He said I would be the best first baseman they've ever seen. I said, boy, are you wrong.
Jason, you're lying, but it's really sweet that you're inviting your friend who's going to be terrible and get made fun of.
And now, time for
Brian
my friends
Dennis.
that aren't terrible. Brian Dennis stepping up to the Aki here. Brian has a nice dart going underneath there. Whenever you hit that single segment under the 20, you kind of know the other darts are going to fly right above it, right in a good spot. Very rarely are you going to catch that dart at this level with the technique of these players.
Sheldon asking how many more days of darts. Tomorrow is our last day
and the
of
main
action.
day.
And it is the big finale. That blind draw has already happened.
And the brackets are live on CompuSport. If you've never used CompuSport's website before, all you need to go is to compusport.us. And then for the event, just look up PPD, and it'll show up as major tournaments there. Once you select that, you can look at any of the brackets for the major tournaments, including the finale brackets and all the other brackets that you've already seen take place this week as well, if you want any recaps.
And right now, going on game 1 of 3, this is the one-loss king seat, I guess so to speak. Prince seat. I don't know.
This is a money lock right here. This is everyone here is already guaranteed money. The losing team at worst can do 4th. The winning team at worst could do 3rd. So these guys are already going to get some big checks here. The difference is how much money is going to be on them.
There's a big 7 mark from Brian Dennis. Kyle Liticky find himself behind. Go look at the 17s.
Well, 106 points is bad because 9 mark on the 17s only got 101 points if it was hits. So now it's a little bit of a scenario playing catch up, and Jesse Gore, if he rolls with the momentum here, can really start to get this first game out of hand and win it.
I would ask Jules who he would rather play in this, but he's probably just going to say the quicker one. I do have to say, the setup of TOC is wonderful from a player standpoint. You get to play the same event a couple different days to, you know, get multiple shots at it. It's triple elimination, which favors the entry fee that you're paying for it. And most tournaments are done by 10, 11. If it's really, really long and delayed, it might go a little bit longer than that. But that's it.
Yep.
So early nights, you don't start too super early in the morning. It's nice.
It's very much a player-centric minded tournament. And also, I just want to make a brief mention here, as we've only showed Division 1 and No Cap and Invitational events. I actually took some time during our break in the stream earlier. I went out and I sat and watched the third place match for Division 13, which was the lowest division for our tournament, because I kind of wanted to see what was going on, what was it like. I had them put it in the streaming room as well, told them they weren't live, and I kind of just went and sat on the bench without really saying anything to them. Other than that they weren't live. And, you know, they were coming up and chatting and talking about how watching the stream is what's really pushing them to keep playing the game, which is really cool to see. And they were having just as much fun, if not just a competitive time, as what we're seeing right here, just on a different type of caliber. And it kind of reminds you of where everyone has beginnings in darts and how they get hooked. John here, not going to find the bulls.
I'm supposed to have a Continental Cup meeting in a little bit. And I forgot all about it. Working. Tell me. Sorry. Super. Tell me something. I agree.
John Edwards not finding any of the options that he was going for there. Not happy with that go-around. Now Brian Dennis to close this one out to go up 1-0. This is, of course, that middle bracket, which means the second game will be 0-1. So the question is, are we going to see the pattern reign true, or are we going to see potentially a team winning 0-1 going second?
They're going to break.
They're going to break? You're calling it now?
They're going to break it right here.
I'm only going to agree with you just because it's my Florida players.
Okay, fair enough. My brother-in-law, Michael Walton, is in the chat saying Brian Sensbach is my dad, which is another indie player, and I don't know why he's saying that. Except for maybe just to tag Brian in a post.
Kurt J asking what the places pay for this event. So in this doubles, fourth place $200, third place $360. Second place $570, first place $750. But if you get first place and you're part of the $50K bonus pool, you're going to get additional share of money. Right now, currently worth $600+ a share, which will go down a little bit by the end of today, as it is shared amongst every player across every division that has won.
Brian, why are you ruining my life and my prediction? 65 points going to hurt.
That is not what he had in mind.
Not ideal.
No, not at all. The rule of thumb, I mean, don't get me wrong, in a no cap, you should be playing perfect in 0-1, or maybe one missed start for a team is really what you would expect. But especially just in general, when you're talking Fat Bolo run, Jim Nolte, one of the players in the CSE, has told me time and time again, 2 round gets the money. If you're hitting 2 bulls a round, you're usually going to have a chance unless they're playing perfect. So you need to be hitting 2 bulls at every go.
Yeah, and that's just what he didn't do right there, right? You can see the owners of Skybox supporting their players back there, Wendy and Daryl. And here is Kyle Liticky.
Lids.
Oh. A hat trick here puts a little pressure on.
138 is not a gimme by any means. Brian Dennis, though, has to perform and then leave themselves an out. That's also going to be not a gimme.
Right. But he's got to hit the hat trick first. Not going to do that.
No.
Now he needs to switch to the trip 20 on dart 3.
He does. He's going back to ask Jesse the math right now.
Bullseye and then trip 20.
You know, Brian Dennis, almost an exclusively soft tip player. And, you know, if you ask him why, it's because he says he needs a calculator at the line. And that's why he's going to lean on his partners. And soft tip just makes the math a little bit easier.
That'll work as well. Yep. It leaves a 3-dart finish in open out. So you can go trip 20, trip 14.
Or trip 20, trip 17, trip 17 if you're Kenny Doyle.
Yep. Either one of those works. But it's all a moot point if John Edwards hits us 138. Bullseye, bullseye, double 19.
That's a good start.
Nope. Jesse's going to get a look at this, and what an out it would be.
It'd be a monstrous one, but I wouldn't put it past Jesse. I mean, he's been playing phenomenal every single time we've taken a look at him.
A 3 triple out is never easy, and John kind of punts away the dart 3, too. Makes it a 2-dart combination.
Chad's talking about betting the 18s. Of course, that is another option.
Yep.
I personally just never think about that route because I can't hit an 18 for the life of me.
And Jesse unable to. This is why.
Now that
Can't do that.
that is a misstep because not only
Can't do that.
after the first start, you have to go back to bull. You have to recenter yourself. I know you wanted to stay there, but you have to recenter yourself. That is not okay.
Double 15. Just soft tip out. Way to go on open out or even double out or triple out. Or not triple out, master out. It seems to be a likely option. It just makes it even. That's how I learned how to take out those finishes, and it's kind of hard to break that habit, so to speak. But here we go. Last leg decider will be cricket. Who will go first? That's what's in question.
Down to the diddle. That's a very good one from John Edwards. Brian Dennis has the ability to ride that barrel, but he also has the risk of it getting flung out by that dart.
That one was bounced out by the dart. So John and Kyle will go first. It's going to be tough for the Florida boys now.
The game of cricket here matters because both these teams, I would say, are neck and neck as far as ability and skill and the just fact of how well they're playing right now. That you want to win this because you don't want to get a second loss on your team going to the finals against Jules and Mike Carter knowing that you would have to triple dip him. It's a task that is almost insurmountable for most.
That was almost a nightmare start for Kyle. Still not great. Still below par for sure. But at least he closes the 20. What does Brian do?
He's going to start at that 19. If he hits it twice, he can go up. But looks like he's going to be staying down there all 3 now.
Oh, now for sure.
Good last dart there. No, Sean, you mentioned that this is a players' tournament in the sense of like the way it's designed, how quickly the brackets are run, and stuff like that. And I do agree with you on every one of those as someone that has played in this tournament multiple times.
Yep.
What I will say is these guys have obviously done well in most events they've touched. Do you think that they're starting to get a little bit of fatigue here as they're towards the end of the evening for them?
For sure. I think that's why you do an event like the finale on Sunday, or the finale on Tuesday, because it almost just re-energizes. There's an adrenaline rush that kicks in. The money that is at stake tomorrow alone will wake everyone right back up. So while there is a little bit of fatigue that I'm sure is setting in for the players, I don't think it's as much as you might expect.
This might sound a little ridiculous to say out loud here, but not that I'm on the same level of any of these players. When I played in the 2019 TOC, though, I did also qualify, not for the Elite Final, but the Masters one, so the middle bracket final. And the problem I had was I ended up cashing in all the events leading up to it, which meant every single day I was here at the start of the tournament till the end. And it got exhausting for me. My arm kind of felt almost like jello the last day. And I think that's going to be one of the interesting things. You see these top shots, but these top shots have been doing well. And there's going to be some guys that are going to come out well rested and rejuvenated with a new partner.
Well, we're going to see what's going to happen here. Here's my question back at you then. You ready?
Yes.
We saw Jeremiah and Leonard go out first in this event tonight.
Yes.
They did it on purpose?
No. There's no version of them now. Maybe were they dialed in? Were they really on their competitive edge? Who knows? You'd have to ask them yourself. The difference is they both are big enough names, and they both are, I'm going to say it, like prideful players.
Yeah.
There's no version of them that is willing to take last place in events, and I'm going to say the room just beat them or the fatigue just beat them. But in either case, there's no way that they intentionally bowed out.
Do you think it helps them for tomorrow, though, to go out early?
Oh, without a doubt, I think it's going to be beneficial for tomorrow, and there's going to be a lot more money on the line. But, I mean, you can't go into an event with the mentality of, I want to lose it so I can get well rested for tomorrow, because at that point, you might as well have just not signed up.
Well, we'll see what happens. It's going to be an impressive event. It's just something to think about as a player, right? Like, do you think about that as a player? Boom goes the dynamite Brian Dennis. Firing up the tardies.
The other reason I don't believe that is simply because if they didn't want to play, they could have just gone up to the podium and just said, hey, we're forfeiting our matches. And they chose not to do that.
Yeah.
And there's face-to-face with an opponent, it would almost be more disrespectful to give them the win than to not try and beat them.
Oh, I agree with you. I'm not, I guess, in reality, I wasn't suggesting that they didn't win on purpose, but
then you did. I'm just kidding.
I'm suggesting they might have, you know,
Wanted
been
more rest
okay
for the next
with-
day.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of giving you a hard time there with the answer because realistically, it's everyone could use a little extra rest before that last event, and it will be a little X factor for them. I think we're going to see a rejuvenated Gates. Not the same one that we saw in Will Stewart's picture. And then Rodney Parton said definitely could be fatigued as a soldier not only played in Phoenix, but then also played the CSC on Monday and had a match go all 17 legs against Rick Hinsey. Brian Dennis here getting a few extra points. Might just stay there all day. He did take a look there. It's a little bit of a risky look. I don't think he's been quite as lethal as he wants to. He's hitting big rounds and then soft rounds, and not the most consistent play we've seen out of him. So I think that was a big risk going for the 16 there. When right now, I mean, John Edwards and Kyle Liticky always can creep back into a match.
Yeah, just consistency is how I would describe Kyle and John. They just play a nice, consistent pace. They're going to have some big rounds, but they're not going to have too many bad rounds, so to speak.
Well, John Edwards versus Johnny Lackey tied the record up until recently for most line marks in the CSC, and that's hard to do. That means you're throwing well over a long period because that's a best of 17. Sorry, 17 legs, race to 9.
Yep. All right, what can Kyle do?
He's trying to make a stand.
Got 6 15s. And here is Brian Dennis.
It's game 3. You really want this win. I don't think you take a risk of anything except point. He could take a look now if he really wants to. He might. But, yeah, that's the right call. That's a great shot. That's an amazing shot even.
Big darts there for Brian Dennis.
Jesse Gore in the background getting loud, getting rowdy as we got some Florida members in the bleachers as well supporting these guys.
This game is flipped on its head.
Yeah, imagine being from Florida and in the bleachers. Going to get up there and join them, but then everyone looked at me like, no, you're supposed to be commentating right now.
I'll just go do that from out there.
Oh, okay. Might have to get a censor button installed real quick.
No, not with the people out there. You just do it from out there.
Oh, okay.
Like, get out. I'm just kidding. All right. Jesse Gore, 3 bowls.
Not going to go here, but looking pretty good in this leg.
Yeah, all Kyle can do is hit some bowls. Sorry, guys, hang out a second while Will turns off Nick's mic completely. I'm just kidding. You're good. Go ahead. Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right there, Nick. Dynamite dropping.
Brian Dennis trying to take it here.
Boom goes the Floridian.
You can hear the room celebrate. Some hands getting shook. They guaranteed third place for themselves there in a great match against John Edwards and Kyle Liticky.
They're not out, though.
Well, now John Edwards, Kyle Liticky is going against Isaac Robinson and Johnny Lee, and then the winner of that will go back to play who we just saw, Jesse Gore, Brian Dennis. Winner of that to the finals. We have our last few matches set in stone. The stage is here, and we're excited to see what's next.
Yeah, we're excited to bring you coverage here from Kansas City, Missouri, live at TOC 2022. I'm Sean Green. Nick Dichiria is to my right. To my left is Will Stuart. You might call me the luckiest guy in the room. I wouldn't disagree with you. We'll be back with more right after the short break.
Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and darters alike. I'm Nick Dichiria, joined by Sean Green and Will Stuart. Now looking at our 4th place match here. This should be a doozy, as we got John Edwards and Kyle Liticky against Isaac Robinson and Johnny Lee here. Sean, what do you think of this matchup?
Well, I think the diddles were terrible. Do you see that? Not a single bullseye.
Just
one was 1 hole out, one was 2 holes out, and for them, that's terrible. I don't think we've seen that yet this weekend.
I think they're just saving their good darts for this one leg that they're playing. Last chance, just 1 game of cricket, and then we go to our 3rd place match.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. I got some insight. These 2 teams have some history in this tournament today. So far, they've played each other. This will be the 3rd time. Right now, Isaac and Johnny, 0 for 2 against John and Kyle. So,
it's going to be a hard spell to break if you only start off with a 1 mark, though.
Yeah, that's not a good start. Not the start they were looking for. Guys, let us know who you're tuning in for. Thanks for watching along with us live at the KCI Expo Center in Kansas City, Missouri. Kyle Liticky getting a 5 mark.
Johnny Lee going up to the board here, looking to do some damage on those 19s. Last one went a little wild on him. He knew that before he let go of that dart.
Yeah, he said he was on fire in his last match. Like throwing lights out.
Well, he needs to keep that fire kindled if he's going to keep going through.
Yeah, this might be starting to get out of reach already. If John Edwards has another trouble. He does.
Well, and considering, I mean, this is a 1-leg match. It's only 1 game of cricket that they're playing before the bracket starts to reset itself. It's pivotal now more so than ever to perform.
Isaac Robinson, a 5 mark. But that's not enough either, as Kyle Liticky can look at the 20s first. See the hand. He almost flips the dart through.
Yeah, I was just about to call it the same thing. It's almost like a flick of the dart. It's very interesting how he throws. It gets a nice little zip to it.
Yeah, he does not follow through all the way either. One of the few players that is consistent even without the follow through.
Well, I think that's also part of the reason why you see Kyle Liticky, when he's feeling it, he is unbeatable. When he is not, it is transparent, because it's one of those things where if you have a throw like that, you have a way where you're typically used to throwing, whether it be a short stop, a flick of the wrist, whatever it may be. If you're not doing exactly that in the way you're supposed to, it's not going to work out for you. But he's found a way to make it work consistently.
Yeah, and Johnny Lee just threw in a nice 7 mark. John gets rid of the 17s, goes up in points again, but the point lead's starting to dwindle with Isaac and Johnny throwing in 7s.
Steve Hilger saying, I love all 4 of these guys. Not cheering for either one in particular, but if I had to, Johnny and I have that Marine Corps brotherhood. Semper Fi. So, love to see it. Let us know who you have in the chats, as this one's actually coming to a pretty quick end, potentially.
Steve, I feel like that's an inside joke that I'm not a part of. I do like inside jokes. I would love to be a part of one someday.
I know Isaac Robinson's jersey says the veteran on it.
It does. Absolutely.
Will Stewart in the chat, the one and only Samuel Peterson. Why you always lying?
Oh, Johnny K really wanted that trip 20. He knows how big of a dart that would have been. That was a nervous exhale, not a celebration. But he was about ready to give one. Have you noticed when the matches get towards the end, the players get a little bit louder, we start hearing them through the door? Have you noticed that?
It makes sense. I mean, a 9 mark at the beginning of a set is not as important as the 9 mark to end one. And maybe that's not the case if you actually look at the numbers, the stats, and how the game plays out after. But you definitely feel a lot different when you hit that big close at the very end, that big point at the very end, or that last dart triple that was really a hero dart. Those are where those heroes and legends and stories come from.
Well, Isaac Robinson has climbed his team right back into this, him and Johnny. And now Kyle.
Is he going to do a return to sender here? Needs to find a triple.
Gets
now
it. 16s.
Oh, my goodness.
He's looking
oh
over at the 16s. And he hits it. Boom goes the dynamite there for Kyle Liticky. What a time for a 9 mark. And you see Johnny Jenkins knows how important that was.
As Lids tries to put a lid on this, that was a crazy darts from him at a pivotal moment.
And he 1 holes above the bull. Blocker dart. Gets the double bull. Now take out the 15. Make it 3-3.
I think you have to. I would agree with that shot, especially with the way that dart's hanging over. I mean, is someone likely to miss 3 balls? No, but we've seen it happen in this
We sure
level.
have. Yeah, he shot at it. It was the right dart.
Borky, I can't read that comment out loud, but I just want to let you know I do appreciate it regardless.
Well, here we go. John Edwards. 3 bulls. I think he was asking Kyle there, hey, do you want me to go for this, or would you rather
30-point difference means
up?
2 15s is the difference maker, meaning first dart, if it hits the bull, he's going to stay. Otherwise, he's going to go back.
One
now
more bull. And there it is. My goodness. A 3 for 3 against Isaac and Johnny is tough. But 4th place for Isaac and Johnny. The only team they lost to was Kyle and John.
Well, I mean, quick handshakes there, but you can definitely see in Isaac, he was disappointed in himself maybe. There's a lot of frustration there as he has been so close to sending it and just not quite getting there. But some great stuff from everyone involved, and congratulations on 4th place and making $200 to Isaac Robinson and Johnny Lee. Jesse Gore, those must be all of his bush lights.
See Jesse right there, up close and personal.
Oh, oh no, no!
Picking at his teeth there a little bit.
Oh, Will Stuart on the controls. Just want to make that clear.
Always
for all
a
my
chance
Florida
for that
friends that's going to try to
embarrassment.
blame me on that one.
Way to go, Nick. Why'd you have to zoom in on that one?
Well, now we have our 3rd place match, and this is to decide who gets to the finals here. And a very pivotal time. Brian, Dennis, and Jesse Gore going up against John and Kyle here to see who can take down the Dragon and the Carter.
Oh, boy. Guys, don't go anywhere. We are going to have for you until we bring you this match. What do we got?
I imagine it'll be pretty quick, but we'll go ahead and play the Devin Hunter interview for you real quick, just to kind of let you guys hear a little insight on one of our CSI players, and we'll be right back.
Don't go anywhere, guys.
Stay tuned. I'm Nick Dichiria from USA Darts, joined by Devin Hunter here at TOC 2022. Devin, you just got into Kansas City, Missouri. How are you doing?
Great. Drive was good. Weather's nice, so.
Are you excited to be back out in the Tournament Champions once again?
Yes, I love this place. It's like a vacation, but with darts.
Well, I mean, you've been here a few years now. You said your first TOC was in about 2014, give or take. So you've been familiar with the program for quite a long time now. What's your experience been like so far since you started playing in the Partners Pro Darts?
Great. I mean, it's a great company. They do a lot for us, which is awesome. They throw a lot of tournaments, and they pretty much put together this great show at the end of the year, which is awesome.
Well, now you're a part of the CSI, which is going to be some of the best players in the PPD going against each other for a nice big lump sum of money. What's your mindset going into this tournament, knowing there's a lot of big shots in there? I mean, including yourself. This is a tough bracket.
Yes, it is a very tough bracket. There's a lot of great players, but it's a race to 2. on the winner's side and the loser's side, first loser side. So it's really just about how good you start and how good you present yourself going into it. Anybody's really beatable at any state, especially when it's a race to 2. If it's a longer race, it'd be a little tougher for some of these big guys, but you just have to have the right mindset going into it.
So with the shorter format, you're going to take a little bit more chances, what you're saying, try to catch someone off guard?
No, you're just going to play a little bit more aggressive.
Okay. And then how long have you been playing darts? Like, give us a little background on your dart history for players that might not know you as well.
This is my 21st year of playing darts. I started when I was 7. I was just a little kid. Played with my dad, who played for like 20 years as well, and he pretty much retired. I started playing junior darts about 12 or 13 with Jake Smith in Sioux Falls, and it's just been a battle ever since. I've loved it, and it's pretty much my life goal to just do something with it.
Well, you started 21 years ago at the age of 7, like you just said, right? Yeah. There's going to be a lot of players and people that might be new to darts, people that just started playing, whatever it may be, watching the CSI events and seeing these great shots throw. What advice would you give to those people that are about to pick up darts for the first time or just recently picked up darts?
You're going to go through some struggles, you're going to fail, but never give up. Just keep trying to push forward, and if you want it, go get it.
And go get it, you will. Let's assume you win the CSI, you win a couple events out here. I mean, there's a 50K supercharger out there amongst everything else. What would you do if you took a decent lump sum of money home with you at the Tournament Champions this year?
I would buy a bunch of baby stuff, because like I said, I'm about to have a baby in the next week, so hopefully it doesn't happen while I'm down here, but I would definitely put a good chunk towards baby stuff.
Well, that's a lot of pressure on the mind there, knowing that kid's coming right around the corner, but some extra diapers is not a bad call for the prize money.
No, not at all.
Now, with everything else being said, we're excited to have you back, and we're excited to be back live in person, right? We haven't had TOC in person for the last 2 years. Are you looking forward to seeing people you haven't seen in a while and those dart connections that people tend to make at these tournaments?
Yeah, I love coming to dart tournaments for that reason. It's like a family reunion. You get to see people you only get to see maybe once or twice a year, and you just go out and have fun with them.
Well, we're excited to see you have some fun at the Aki. Is there anything you want to say to your friends, fans, family, anybody that might watch you on the stream?
I would like to thank Darren from Flashpoint. He's been behind me a lot, and he's helped me out a lot. And then, like, Mom and Dad, if you see this, hi, and then hi, friends and family and fans, I guess.
Well, I know there's a lot of people looking forward to watching you play. I'm one of them, and we're going to see some great darts out of you. I'm Nick Dichiria. This is Devin Hunter, live from TOC 2022. Hello everyone, my name is Nick Dichiria with USA Darts, joined by Meredith Hale from Orlando, Florida, representing C&M Darts in the women's CSI. How are you doing?
I'm great, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Now you had a interesting time getting here. You've been here a couple days early because of a certain storm or something I might have heard about named Ian.
Yes.
How's your travels been so far?
Been great, came in Tuesday night, and I've just kind of enjoyed the peace and quiet. For the time, it's been all Florida people and the PPD staff basically here for the whole week.
Well, it's the calm before the storm here, because tomorrow we are starting our play with the women's CSI bright and early in the morning here. And it's a tough field out there. I mean, what does it feel when you're looking at brackets like that, knowing that every opponent's going to be a brick wall?
It is. It's very hard. In a short format, 2 out of 3, you've got to put it on right then and right there. And fortunately, there is a loser's bracket, so you do get a second chance. But it's very hard, and you got to hope for a good draw, and hope that you're on point at 8:30 in the morning.
Well, you know how to be on point. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. And in 2019, you and I actually played together in one of these events. And after 2 early losses, we climbed all the way back from the bottom bracket to 3rd place in a triple elimination format.
I felt like a winner.
Now, what's your secret to staying focused after knowing that early losses in a long format and a long tournament? Like, how did you stay focused during all that?
It's just one game at a time. You have to focus on one game at a time. And sometimes, someone has a hot game on you, and your game isn't so good that time. And you just have to go, okay, good for them. They shot great. Let's move on to the next one and see what happens. And hopefully it's not the deciding leg. Hopefully you'll get another chance. But, you know, you've got a loser's bracket. You come back and hopefully see them again. Or if they drop down, you know, maybe you've got, you know, yourself together and everything's working right. And you can keep going. It's one game at a time. Don't overthink it. Just keep going.
Back in the action here, third place match, bracket reset. Now we're seeing Kyle Liticky, John Edwards, Brian Dennis, Jesse Gore. Cricket 501. Cricket is the game. Last game, cricket is the name. Sean Green, how you doing?
Buddy, I can't tell you what a pleasure it is to get to talk to these players, get to walk around a little bit. These guys are rediddling because they're so good. That one actually also would have tied. That's in the same
quadrant.
Yeah, hole as the other two. And look how blocked that thing is. He's going to move over way to the right side to hit this, but I think he does it. What do you think?
I mean, he has a very firm throw. He's not a lofty thrower, so there's a good chance, especially the speed flights.
Well, but you were wrong again. And it will definitely be John and Kyle getting the start. This is a race to 2. Cricket 01 cricket, correct?
That is what I said.
Oh, you did say that already?
It's all right. Just had to dish
I have
back.
been turning out your voice for quite a while.
You know, you and the rest, huh?
Carlos saying, what's with all this graffiti on my hat?
Yeah, well, what'd you do to Carlos's hat?
John told me to. John said, here, sign this.
John was like, Carlos would love if you signed the hat, and then me and Sean in the background were like, do it, do it, do it.
That never happened. It was definitely just Will. He grabbed it, and he's like, I'm going to sign it if he wants it.
You're going to like it.
If you don't want that one, come get a new one. I'll give you a new one and throw that one in the garbage.
Throw it in the garbage. It has your signature on it. It's worth at least
$5 less than it normally was.
Yep. All right, here's Kyle Liticky.
Lids stepping up here. Gonna have to get around those darts there. This is one of those like lays where I would almost wonder if you just should go for something else at that point.
I think he's wondering that too now. Trip 1 on dart 3.
Brian Brizzle stepping up, also known as Mrs. Dennis.
Porky asking, there's seriously 19 divisions there? Yes, there are.
Absolutely. Almost all the brackets are full. A handful of them have about one buy, and a lot of money to be won between the 50K Supercharger, everything else here. And of course, I mean, who doesn't want to go to a tournament where Sean, Will, and I are here to hang out as well?
All right, John Edwards looking down at the 19s, gets them closed. He has been just steady this entire time. It's been kind of impressive to see. Jesse Gore, Brian Edwards are sitting above John and Kyle. So if John and Kyle win this first match, they will have one-leg decider, which also helps the team that is on the king seat.
Do you see that crowd interaction there? On the right side, just off camera, there's a lot of the Florida players watching along here. And after that big cheer, John Edwards just goes and gives them like a shush and then a smile.
I love it. So there's definitely a little bit of banter there.
They were all laughing and joking around. I mean, here's the thing. There's multiple run-ins of the same teams when you're playing these events with the same partners. And it adds a little bit of camaraderie to the whole thing.
Well, Brent, I got to be honest with you, bud. It's not anything about the other stuff that you're talking about. It's just we're staring at screens all day long. It's been a long day. It's always is a lot of action. We're in the same room, locked in a room with each other for multiple hours at a time. There's no reason not to have a good time doing so.
And the goal is always to try to not only showcase some great darters, but try to have a little bit of fun with you guys as well. We try to put on a show for everyone involved. Ourselves included sometimes. Jesse here, looking like they're in some danger for game 1. But the best part about this bracket reset is that, again, I hate to stamp on this point, but it's so pivotal. The second game almost always goes to the losing team of the first leg.
It's going to be broke. But Kyle's going to go back up to the 20s. Hits a big triple. How come every time I throw the smart dart at the right number, I always hit the neighbor triple?
Oh.
Or double? Mostly the neighbor double.
I mean, if you want the real answer, these players put a lot of time into the practice board. You yourself, me and Will, we don't play as much as we would like to because we love the sport, but we're oftentimes bringing it to you. And these guys, they spend a lot of time working on it, and when they're not at their day jobs, or maybe this is their day job, they are hitting that board like it did something to them. Also, Brent, just want to say thank you for the comment, man. He said, haha, I love it, man. Y'all are doing great, and I appreciate the stream you guys always provide. Well, we appreciate that you love and support.
Sorry, you just threw in the most ridiculous comment, all nonchalantly there, and then just moved on. Like we couldn't stay on it for more than half a second. Probably shouldn't do that one anymore. Scott Hanna saying, quite the rager we've got here, folks. Actually, he said, quite the rager we got he, folks. But you know what he meant.
But when I say it, I get in trouble.
Well, he was saying it
in the bathroom earlier.
He did. But that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about he's just making fun of you. Which is always okay.
It's funny talking and interacting with a lot of these players one-on-one. John Edwards out there is like, hey, you better make sure to make me look good. Don't say anything bad about me. I said, John, you're the only one I haven't said anything bad about.
Jim quoted you. Great. Well, it's been a good run, folks.
And it looks like our broadcast is getting turned off as we speak.
Oh, God, Scott, stop it. Stop it now. All right, John.
Clear control of this leg.
He's been so solid.
Jesse Gore, been on fire, has been doing some great stuff, and I would say he's so far happy with a lot of his tournament run. But what better way to finish it than trying to get a first place in the no-cap events?
Yeah, he said he lost in the last chance yesterday in the CSI, throwing a 6.8.
What do you even do? What do you even do?
He goes, I can't even be upset at that.
And there's a lot of players that talked to in the CSI that said, yeah, I'm not upset with my performance. This room is just that strong.
It is a strong room to be in.
Brian, to keep the leg alive here, needs a lot of bowls and then some.
Yeah, he needs to borrow someone else's darts.
Well, I don't know if you even want to borrow mine. They don't really work very well.
That's for sure. John Edwards, 2 bowls.
Scuba Steve in the chat saying, hey, boys. Hey,
well,
Scuba.
Right back at you, Scuba. There it is for John Edwards. 1-0 Edwards and Liticky over Dennis and Gore. Are you getting worried about your Florida boys right now?
No, because as I've said, this is going to go to game 3. If it's a middle bracket match, it goes to game 3.
Broken.
At this level. In the no-cap level, it does 9 times out of 10.
It's being broken right here.
Just a reminder, Van Dongen Carter in the king seat as Carter was over there warming up on board 1A, I'm noticing on our cameras in the background.
And Jules is still eating his dinner.
I'm sure he is.
Brian with a missed dart. Well, how the turntables.
Well, unless they're going for a 9-darter there, it doesn't necessarily add too much pressure, but you only get 1 miss. If you still want to hit a 12-darter without having to hit a super crazy out, that's the benefit of going first in Fat Bowl.
Well, we're on our way to a break-a throw and a game 2 win.
Yes, Steve, this is the 3rd place
for
match.
John and Kyle.
If Jesse did not hit a low ton there like he needed to, now...
Well.
3 in the bed asking what's our next event. It's going to be which city up in the Boston area, and then we're going to come back for a week and head right back to the same place for Seacoast, and that's going to round out our year.
And that sounds like a great year for USA Darts. I know the rest of my events. I just have Continental Cup coming up.
So three darts missed from Brian Dennis, Jesse Igor kind of shows that even if they hit a hat trick here, 152 is a very hard outs.
But doable.
It is doable, but those 3 darts would have put them down at 51 points if they were hitting what they were going for there. It makes the situation a lot more high intensity because if Kyle Liticky hits a hat trick, he's at 86. That's a 2 dart.
Yeah, this is a big moment right here. Kyle Liticky hit a 9 mark when he needed to hit one. Can he hit a hat trick when he needs to hit one?
I expect him to do so.
That's
looks like misread on the board.
That's a really similar to. I'm really happy it stayed in the board. Well, I was really hoping they would register a 1 still. Remember when that happened earlier? All right. Has to step back and regroup on this last start. That's kind of tough.
Yeah. He still wants to send that bull. He's not blocked on it, and 86 is a good leave.
Gets it.
Way to stay focused there.
Jesse Gore.
The pressure's on.
This is 152 or bust?
It's 152 or bust. John Edwards, if he should never miss 86 at his talent level, and he's consistent enough to hit something like that.
It's probably a 95% shot for him. But
Ooh.
Jesse gets the first one. Gets a second one.
Oh, my, right here.
Gets it done. 152
Wow.
finish for Jesse Gore. Didn't even utilize the bullseye to do so.
I didn't even break his sweat. That shows his steel tip experience reigning true there. 152 taken out expertly by Jesse the Curse Breaker Gore.
Boom goes the Floridian. Is right. Wow, let's go to a last leg. Don't you shake your head at me.
Well, I want to know your opinion here. We're talking about how Jesse Gore broke the Skybox Curse. I was thinking Curse Breaker could be a good first nickname for him. Well, what do you think on that one? So I support you on Juggernaut Hinsey.
Wow, look at this. I mean, a big fallout from the Florida boys.
Edwards looking to capitalize. Does with a double. Nice hit there.
Yeah, so Edwards and Liticky will go first. If they do beat Dennis and Gore in this leg, we will go to a 1-leg race. And Jules and Mike Carter are even happier.
Yes.
Here we go. Buckle up, Buttercup. Only a 3-mark start for Kyle Liticky.
And only a 3 is exactly how it needs to be said. You expect to have a 5 mark or more on these opens. If not, especially in a tiebreaker scenario, you're looking to put yourself in a dangerous spot. Brian needs to punish something like that, though. Let's see if he can back it up.
That's a good trip on dart 2. Looked up. That's a little early.
I don't agree with that shot there. I understand the philosophy behind it, but I think Jesse Gore's kind of like the hot hand on the team right now, and you kind of just need him to take some of those hero shots. And Brian, a very well-rounded shot himself, just kind of needs to set up his partner in that situation.
Ooh, John only getting a 3-mark himself. So they're trying to let these Florida guys right back in this thing. There's the point lead. There's even more. Looking up. And he hits it. Let's go, says Jesse Gore.
You see what I'm saying? Jesse Gore has the hot hand. He's feeling good. He's showing it. And when you see him celebrating like that, you know something's going right. I think for Kyle and John, though, seeing those celebrations is going to motivate them more than demotivate them, as they are very much a more cool, collected type of player.
Sorry about that. All right, Brian Dennis.
Set up your partner here, Brian. You're going to want to stay downstairs, although that one will get in the way potentially.
He stayed all 3. Got himself a 5-mark. He did exactly what you said. It's almost like you're coaching him.
Well, I do have a little earbud in, so he can hear me.
Man, Liticky and Edwards have been on a roll for a little while here. So they've just kind of been collecting what they needed to get the job done. But after that big 1-5-2, I wonder if Jesse and Dennis can just take advantage. Look at this. Look at this. A big
Look at
fist pump
that.
from Jesse Gore. We're seeing a replay of the CSE Challenger Series match.
I mean, he's playing well near perfect. And it might be only sevens, but that's because he's hitting critical closes. He's making sure he's securing his point lead and then doing what needs to get done.
Big darts from Florida's Brian Dennis and Jesse Gore. Can Brian keep this momentum going?
He just needs to keep the ice in his veins right now, as he's been cool, calm, and collected and letting his partner do the celebrating.
Oh, just off on the first one. Oh, boy.
Triple here makes a huge difference.
Does not get it.
Edwards
So-
debating strategy right now. If he's saying right now, if I hit that first dart triple 16, do
Yep.
you want me to close? What would you
Yep.
do, Sean?
Yes.
I would agree with that.
It shifted the momentum entirely.
9 mark either direction's fine, but whatever strategy you do, you have to commit to. He didn't hit that first dart triple. He needs to be staying all 3.
Yep. Moves over just a tad, and it makes all the difference. A 5 mark for him gives him back the point lead, but it's only 51 points.
The style of throw Jesse's been throwing, I expect to see a potential close if he hits a triple on the points.
There's the triple. And there's the look at it. Just wires.
First time he missed that 7 mark
Yep.
like that.
Will it be taken advantage of? Because Kyle Liticky has the same shot that his buddy John just had. He hits the first dart, though.
He has to take a look, right?
Nope.
He chooses not to.
He did on dart 3, though.
A legend in the chat, Gordon Stewart, saying, "How's it going, boys?" It's going well. How are you doing, good sir?
Dad! Didn't even say bye to me the other day. I'm just kidding.
He told me to tell you folks bye, so I relayed the message.
Right now.
Yeah, thanks for telling me.
I did it earlier, too. Maybe you just didn't hear me.
Dave, these guys are still plugging along. Brian Dennis
A little
throws in a
celebration.
7 and
Getting
gives a little turn.
excitement here for the Florida boys. I like it. Calm, cool, and collected is Edwards and Liticky, but the Florida boys are getting after it.
Well, and it almost, in comparison to Jesse's celebrations, Brian's almost looks calm, cool, and collected because of how vibrant the Chris Work has been getting.
Well, and there is the door kicking open for Jesse Gore.
Let's see what the boar can do.
Oh, you're going to just straight jack that from me now? Oh, buddy.
Little tension in the booth here. As,
He says, curse breaker, tries it, and I said, nah, bore it is. And he goes, leans in on
I
it.
was like, you know what? That's not too bad. I'm going to have to agree with you on that one, bud. Ooh, another triple makes him alive. Now you have to imagine Brian Dennis is going to close this number here. Of course, there is a risk with it being within a 1 bull reach as a 4-3 in the bull race. He has a couple different options. Let's see how he approaches this one. Takes a safe option, points first.
Points again. Now he's going to look over the 15s for sure, right?
I mean, there's an argument either direction, but I do think that you can safely look at the 15s here.
Do it. He did not do it.
Wanted to get just over that 100-point hurdle. Like I said, it's not that that is necessarily wrong. It's just I feel like the 15s were more right.
All right. Now it's going to pay off.
That was a nervy dart there from John Edwards. Very uncharacteristic of him.
Yeah, all 3 of those very uncharacteristic. Only getting a 2 mark. And the writing is on the wall as Jesse Gore almost walked up to the board.
You almost have to imagine that if Brian and Jesse win this, if you were John Edwards and Kyle Liticky, you'd be like, well, Lost to the same team twice. Not much else you can say about it, and that's kind of the feeling you get as a player. If Gore takes us out here, he's going to do the biggest celebration we've seen.
There it is.
Oh, he calmed it down. Did you see that? He was about to. He's like, I'm going to breathe. I'm going to breathe. He held his hands out, calmed it down. Amazing shot there and really impressive play from Jesse Gore, the Boar. And then, of course, Brian Tennis Brizzle doing fantastic stuff.
He willed that one. He willed that one.
Willed that one into existence. As now it is finals time, gentlemen. We have a one-loss team going against a no-loss team. Jules Van Dongen and Mike Carter now will play Brian Dennis and Jesse Gore. And they're just going to get that match set up here for us.
Alrighty, folks. Hang on. We'll be right back with your finals of Monday Night Doubles here at the Tournament of Champions 2022 live from Kansas City, Missouri. We'll be right back.
Curse Breaker or Boar, which one's a better nickname?
What?
Well, here we are once again. I'm Nick Dichiria, joined by Sean Green and Will Stuart.
Well, here we are once again. I'm Sean Green, and I'm joined by Nick Dichiria and Will Stuart.
And here we are at the Tournament of Champions 2022, Kansas City, Missouri, brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts.
I can't tell you how long I've been waiting for that.
Nick looks like a kid that just got a lump of coal on Christmas right now. Looks like a kid that just got out of the candy store with mom and dad, and they said, "No, son, you ain't getting nothing."
It's all out of love, man. It's all out of love.
Well, all the love is going from these darts to the board.
Mike Maloney says, 4 guys I like with a smiley face. Well, there's only 3 of us back here in the booth.
So that's really weird of you to say.
We understand your counting mistakes, but
wow.
here's Jesse Gore and Brian Dennis taking on Jules Van Dongen, Mike Carter.
A quick refresher, if this is your first time seeing a triple elimination format. The team with the least amount of losses will play the that side of the bracket. So right now, Jules has not lost, and neither has Mike Carter in that doubles team. So we're going to be watching best of 3 all cricket. If they were to lose, it would then switch over to cricket 501 cricket. If there was a team, if both teams have 2 losses, it will go down to a last chance sudden death leg.
Thanks for that explanation there, buddy, as we get a firm grasp on what could happen here.
All right, so let's talk about this real quick. We saw in the last match Jesse Gore, Brian Dennis get real hyped as they're playing through the match. It's now been a little bit of time in between matches. Does the adrenaline pump that you just got hurt you now? What do you think, Nick?
I don't know if it hurts anything, but it does bring up a great point of, like, you have to control it. You have to be able to bring it back down if you're able to amp up that energy.
Is the sound on?
So that's going to be one of those things that we're going to be seeing the difference of, is can he be able to calm back down. I actually talked with him and Brian briefly, and Brian acknowledged that his diddles were not the best, and Jesse acknowledged that he said when he saw that 152 out, it changed his mentality for not only that game but the rest of the game. He said, I'm a steel tip player. I need to play real steel if I'm going to try to make it through. And so instead of playing what he's known to do in soft tip, which is more traditional style of play, he decided to play hyper aggressive. He decided to go for what he would normally go for in the game that he practices on the most.
You see Dason Alberts in there saying, "Good morning, gentlemen."
This is the longest we've gone in the evening session. It will be the longest that we go in the evening session. Jesse Gore looking to do what he can, but this first leg was a runaway.
And this is also one of those tournaments for Jules where he's just been performing. Mike Carter holding his own as well. No discredit to him either, as that team has been a dynamic duo.
Just a 6-3-8 from Jules, no big deal.
MBD. Of course, we also would be very interested to see if another different Florida team would to win the same event, as we also saw Kenny Doyle and Nick Slepic win this as well, the only other team besides Jules.
Quite the weekend for Jules. We can't say it enough. It's nice for him because actually in the post-match interview you had with him after the CSI, you mentioned that most of his winnings actually goes towards his travel because he just doesn't have the management support.
Yep.
I mean, it's not well known, but most of the time there's a manager aspect.
Good morning, Jason.
And they actually have kind of a good agreement that they pay for the travel and they get like 50% of the earnings back. So it's kind of one of those deals that he is going at this with no manager. So it's tougher on him because he has to pay for everything in his own right.
That's also why he loves so much that this tournament was in his backyard, because he's so used to having a long international travel, multiple flights, and everything else that comes with that. In this case, for once, he's actually able to just drive what he says is 15 minutes from his house. That's to be nice.
Well, Jesse Gore walked it in on the trip 18 on the last one. Mike Carter has just been steady as a partner for Jules this entire weekend.
Yeah,
Always hitting that last dart.
I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if him and Mike actually play together at another event, whether it be steel and or soft. I could see them being partners on numerous occasions.
Partners is not just about averages, but about gelling well together, and I think you're right, Will. They look like they just have some natural chemistry about them.
Brian asking, what are the payouts for first and second? First place, $750. Second place, $570. Both to be split. But again, if you're in that 50K pool like Mike is and Brian is, you basically double your winnings every time you win.
A little extra.
Big
Bonus.
9 mark again from Jules. His second and 2 legs of darts. The dragon is breathing fire on the dartboard again.
I'm not going to lie. The way Jules and Carter are playing together right now is very scary stuff. Mike only saying this weekend should really bring Carter out of his funk. I know he's been hot and cold, but winning will give you that good feeling to throw the game. And you know he's been on lately. Let's go. And I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Mike Carter's one of those very talented shooters that has not been up to his standard, as he will openly admit. And I feel like we're starting to see him come back here.
Jules said that about himself too. He said, "This is a confidence booster for me. It's the first time I've got that massive paycheck." And yeah, same could be said for Mike. He'll take this and run with it, hopefully, for the next month or two or more. You never know.
Does anybody check Jules' darts? Maybe the court.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Albert Pujols, Judge.
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. That's kind of a thing going around the baseball world right now. Is did they throw something in the balls just to help out Albert or Aaron? Who knows?
Are they weighing down the fishes? You never know.
Hey, that reference too. That reference
Or the
too.
chest cheating scandal that's been going on. There's been a lot of scandals, but I promise you these players are checked for peds.
These ones are?
Just go with it.
All right. Well, Mike Carter's going to come up to try and close the 15s. If he does so, driver's seat again, he can win the leg right here.
And it seems like they're almost destined.
He can definitely win the leg right here. He's going to win the leg right here.
Oh!
He did not win the leg right here. Then I'm going to stop doing that now.
You see Brian just do nothing but smile there, as he did play with Mike Carter in trips this morning with Austin Braswell. It's a lot of friends playing each other right now. And also, a good week for Super Darts, as their players have been doing pretty well between Chrissy Grimmel, Kenny Doyle, Nick Slepik, and Mike Carter, amongst others. A lot of good stuff for that dart team over there.
Well, match number 1 goes to Van Dongen and Carter.
6.90 for Jules.
My
Wow.
goodness. I've never... Have you seen a 6.9 as a doubles partner?
That he's been throwing some 6+ up as a doubles partner,
No,
and
I
that
know
is
that,
very
but
handy
my
if you're the other player in that partnership, because you're just sitting here going like, yeah, I guess I can follow this.
I
with a
could
3 mark
win
and
with
be okay.
Jules right now, probably.
The thing is, you just have to compliment a player
that's true.
like
I could
that.
not.
You don't have to outdo a player
Yep.
like that. You just need to compliment them with a nice solid forward here and there, maybe more.
Look at
and
that
you're
from
gonna
Brian
end up good.
Dennis.
You notice that right there? Give himself a pat on the chest saying, I finally got that diddle. And I think that was kind of one of those prohibiting factors, starting the leg off on the wrong foot. And that might kind of change his tone here, as it has to. They now have to triple dip with no extra lives.
That is correct.
This best of 3 could decide it all. If Jules and Carter lose, it will then go to Cricket 01 Crickets.
Did Jules just click the right game?
Yes.
You sure?
Certain. Any further questions?
We'll get set up here.
Doubles loser side.
Oh, you are right, actually. That doesn't look like it's the right format.
It's not the right format.
Give me a quick moment here. I'm going to let the players know.
So bear with us. He's going to run out there real quick. Just yell, hold on. So it looks like this is going to be kind of useless as he'll go in there and readjust. I think he's going to tell Mike right now, just so they know. We're going to go ahead and just make sure that we don't have an incident, but beforehand, you know. And again, we could be wrong too, but we want to make sure that we're not having an issue here beforehand.
Is his mic still on?
No. No, his mic's off.
Oh, okay, I can tell by the jumping of the bars. You're right.
But bear with us here.
Yeah, because it's going to make game 2, and Jess is going to time out here real quick.
Well, this is game. It says game 1 of 3.
Well, right, that part's correct.
Yep.
But yeah, it should be all cricket.
Mm-hmm. Makes for an interesting final here.
Yeah, adds a little extra to it and see what they do. They're making the decision. Jules seems super thrilled by whatever decision they made. They're going to cancel it.
Yeah, we can see Jules here up at the board. She's just going to go ahead and back out and refresh here, redo.
See if they punch in the first 2 rounds. They can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could. If they decided to, they could. And then, of course, forego those missed rounds at the board, I think, would be the right move there. And they're just kind of conversing, coming up with a team decision here, or a group decision, I should say.
Ryan George asking about Strobel playing. I'm going to guess that might be Division 1 or Division 2.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
But unfortunately, we got the no-cap finals going on here in our streaming location. They have made a decision that they agree with. They can tell by the fist bumps. It looks like they're just going to go ahead and get us through to where they need to be as Carly comes in a little.
Don't worry, Carly. I already took it care of. I talked to the players real quick to make sure they were on the right formats. Once we went ahead and did a quick agreement there, we realized, all right, let's go ahead. They decided to just move it over to the correct formats, which they did, and just go from where has already been thrown.
Well, I like that move.
And
it was a timing weird thing. It kind of throws it off a little bit.
It was just a little bit of confusion with those triple elimination formats. There's a lot going on there. And so it was an unfortunate little misunderstanding there. But that being said, everyone agreed, hey, let's just go ahead and go right on through. No reason to make anything crazy. We're all friends here. Let's just play the game and keep going.
Yeah, Terry is saying it correctly. You always play up to the format of the team with the highest place. If Jules has no losses, it's still the winner's format. Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right.
Exactly.
And Jules is actually the one who punched that in. I mean, I would have probably been confused.
Brian Dennis said it best. He's like, I'm so glad I'm set up the board because I would have done the same thing.
I think that Terry, actually, we want to give her a big shout out because we didn't let everybody know, but she was a significant help to Gates and Jules Van Dongen yesterday in that CSI because she was standing up there and letting them know, this is what you need to do next. Yep. This is what you need to do next. This is the format. Just as a subtle reminder, because even with this format the way it is, it can be confusing for some players that haven't played in it before.
Well, I mean, you guys even said it. At the beginning of the tournament, you guys were like, I'm really glad Nick's played in this before because he understands some of these intricacies. And now by the end, I feel like we're all experts on the rulings here.
Yeah, Scott Hanisch would say you gave a rager of an explanation there, bud.
The kissing emoji sent right back at you, Scott.
Ashley Ritchie in the chat saying, let's go, Jesse. He threw a big round in there. Mike Carter
Ashley Ritchie, one of those players we got to cover in the finals, Will, over at the Cherry Bomb.
Correct.
Hey, that's my joke. Wait a second.
Dynamite.
Dropping
and Brian.
dynamite.
Oops. Ashley was not ready for me to call out the fact that she was cheering on one and not the other. A nice 7 mark from Jules. I won't mention a word about it, Ashley. Not that I already have or not.
You almost have to wonder if this kind of calmed down Jesse and Brian as
Look
they're
at this.
playing so good now.
Look at that! Boom goes the dynamite, Jesse Gore. A rapid fire 9 mark. And Mike Carter doesn't do anything.
I do wonder if it's almost like because of Jules putting the wrong match on there, if it's icing the kicker a little bit. I don't want to say that, but I mean, it just seems like Jesse's nerves and Brian's nerves from that first best of 3 are non-existent here as they are throwing lights out.
Yeah, and look at that 7 mark there from Brian. Doesn't even move over to the 16s at any point. Playing a long game with him. Jules is going to open up that bed, and this is where Jules has said before to me, if I can't get the point lead in those 9 darts, I'll do some weirder stuff. Then you see it there. He closes the 19s.
Spot on, and I think it makes the players question all that stuff. I think Jesse Gore's not going to be one of those players thinking about too much, as he's usually one of those I'm thinking about what I'm doing and nothing else type. Those real steel mentalities, just like Jules is. They're not really thinking about it. They're just doing what they're going to do.
Well, now Mike Carter here, if he does throw a 9 on the 15s, it does not give him the point lead, but it's right there real close.
Well, you have to imagine that this does kind of favor Dennis and Gore.
6 points. Oh. Well, he gets 7 of them.
Brian, Dennis, all I need to do is shut down those 15s. Anything else, bonus money.
Yeah. Did look over the 15s and hits it.
It's not a bad shot because he hit it, but I think that was a very risky way to do that.
All right, Jules. Gonna move over to stay on the bulls. See if he looks at the 17 at any point in time. He might now. He does. Gets rid of it.
Terry Stevenson saying, years of playing this format helps. I've been in this program since the beginning, before it was even the TOC. You get used to it. You just have to learn how to explain it so it makes sense to the new folks. Great job, guys. And exactly, I've been playing this program as well for about 6 years, and it took me a good about 3 years before I felt like I really understood it.
Well, if my math is correct, Mike Carter has winning darts in his hand.
That's a mistake there from Jesse. Let's see if it comes back to haunt him.
Ooh.
Not anymore. Oh. Doesn't even get another bull in there to put any more pressure. So this first leg is going to go to a cough. And Brian Dennis. Jesse Gore. 1 bull. There it is. Leg number 1.
On to the second leg here. Jules will start us off. Do you see some high 5s in those averages?
Yeah, Jules threw a pedestrian 5.79 in that one.
Compared to 6.9, that's nothing.
Well, Jules staying there.
All 3.
Getting all 3. Boom goes the dragon. 9 mark to get started. That's perfect.
Can't really disagree with that one, as even if you answer with perfection of yourself, you're still behind. That's one of those pivotal things about why we keep hammering. Start strong in cricket. The pros will say start strong in cricket. If you're going to do it, it sets the pace of the rest of the match. Another one of those helps. And now, all of a sudden, Mike Carter is going to be able to start running right downstairs and closing up the shop.
Yep, there goes the 19s. Here go the 18s. There are the 17s, I guess. Oh,
It's a good
only a
transition
5 mark.
from down there. You'll typically see that. The difference between 17 and 18 is you have to move your arm a lot to get into those positions, while that is a normally pretty easy transition. Now, let me ask you this, Sean. Right now, he decides to go 17s.
I don't like it.
You don't like
Hate
that?
it.
Why?
I hate it
Tell me
down
why. Tell me why.
120 points.
I want to hear it.
You're down 120 points. You know Jules only needs 1 mark to close the 17s. The 18s, at least, they need to hit a triple to close it. I just, like, bye-bye 17. Like, that. It was that easy. You're only going to get 1 look at it, so the maximum amount of points you're going to get are 102. When you're down 120, that makes no sense.
Well, I'm not saying I disagree with you. But to play devil's advocate, those 17s were going to go regardless. The question is, do you want your opponent to have an extra number, or do you want yourselves to get whatever points you can get off it before that wall dries up?
Well, I want to win the leg, so thank you for asking. I'd rather have the more points. And I do not. And now I have nothing else to point on, because of Mike Carter. He left the 15, though.
He did leave the 15, but I don't know if it will be enough. A perfect round from Jesse Gore required to keep them alive. Good start to it.
Oh, that'll work. Point lead. If the game ended right this second, Florida team wins this one.
That is how it works. The team with the most points typically wins. Jules even laughs about the missed single there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He is going to have to close it. You can't go back up.
Yeah, there it goes. Just upset that he missed the big number.
See, I agree with Scott Hanish here. He erased the 2 darts Mike threw and 1 dart by closing those 17s.
And more people are agreeing with you. So there's more people that can be wrong than just one. I'm just kidding. I'm good with it.
Well said, Sean. Mike Carter to take the Bulls here, and he does so. 1-all, 1 leg away from victory for Mike Carter and Jules Van Dongen to win the no-cap doubles 2 out of the 3 times if they do so. Dennis and Gore need to make a stand now or never, gentlemen. Time to diddle. Brian been struggling and such all day. I think this leg's going to be decided by who has the better diddle, simply because I think it's a confidence booster for Brian. Solid diddle, but that leaves plenty of room for Jules to capitalize.
Matt, I'm not sure who your partner is tomorrow either. I just looked up the name, though. That one does go to Jules. That might be the difference. You see Lisa Van Dongen sitting down there with Jack, Jules' dad.
Matt Music is playing with Jason Gosnell Jr. in the finale.
I knew that part. Oh, Ashley Ritchie said it was Jesse's favorite number of 17s as well.
It can be a factor. I don't know why there's this like weird thing with all the Florida players like in 17s. I got it from Kenny Doyle. It's one of his comfort numbers. It's been one of mine, and something I've always just decided to throw.
The video shouldn't be 5 seconds behind the audio.
Justin Boyd, I do recommend trying to refresh your feed there on YouTube, as sometimes they can lag behind with some bad air. So just give it a little refresh over there, and you should be good to go. If not, I do recommend switching over to our Facebook feeds on USA Darts or on Partners Promoting Darts live on Facebook.
But thank you for letting us know about the possible situation going on over there on YouTube.
And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We have 823 plus people watching the finals here at the Tournament of Champions in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts. I'm Sean Green. Nick Dichiria to my right. To my left is Will Stuart. As we're watching the Florida team of Jesse Gore and Brian Dennis throw a no score there against Jules Van Dongen, the Dutch Dragon, PDC professional, and he lives 10 minutes away from the venue. And his partner is Mike Carter from Phoenix, Arizona. Well, living in Phoenix, Arizona.
No one click Scott's link in chat because I don't know what website it can bring you to, but it's not going to be a good one.
NextRanger.com.
Oh, don't read it. Great shot there from Jules. A round of 9, and you have to wonder, is that going to cement their win here to go 2 out of 3 on the no-cap doubles? We might see a shutout for the final leg here.
Yeah, look at this. Who would have expected this to happen?
There we go, Justin. I'm glad a refresh worked out for you. It can definitely happen as we've been going for several hours at this point, so glad you're tuning in and able to watch it in sync.
If I'm Jesse Gore, I'm hitting 4 bowls, and I'm going, at least we didn't get skunked.
You know, I'm going to have to agree with you on that front, as this looks like another good win for Jules and Carter.
He did not even try for that. It's all over, folks. Jules Van Dongen, 3 bowls.
He needs a power outage to save this one.
Oh, he pointed again.
Tried to again.
Well, he's going to give it to his partner, Mike, to win.
Brian Dennis, 4 bowls. Get on the board. Although I will say, I know it sounds like we're joking around with them. Brian Dennis, Jesse Gore, they did some great stuff and had a tough way to get to this point. They should be proud with how they played, how they represented Florida and Arizona respectively. Florida and Florida respectively. Mike Carter there. My brain tried to follow along. But great stuff from those guys as Mike Carter.
There it is. Mike Carter, Jules Van Dongen, champions. They've won this event twice in 3 days. They take out Brian Dennis and Jesse Gore, who went on quite a run at the end. Big darts.
Yep, we had that. I mean, great stuff from everyone involved there, and phenomenal to be able to watch this finals take place. The story that was writing itself. It was fun to watch along with. And these players here immediately start chatting. You can tell that there is no bad spirits here. These are not just competitors, but these are just normal people playing darts and having a good time.
Yep, my buddy Chuck in the background, almost like in a photo bomb situation back there. Just walked into the room. You can see the better halves and Pops trying to get a picture.
Look at that. Nothing but love and respect being seen here. We love to see it. Good on Will getting that switch there. Look at that view.
You gotta love it.
All smiles out there.
You gotta love it. It's so nice.
And a nice run. Probably, I would say, one of the best runs we've seen from a player out of Jules. And I guess Mike Carter as well, but specifically, Jules is 4 for 5. He's playing great. He's looking good. And if he wins tomorrow, I would say that's probably the best individual run in TOC history.
He's got a tough test tomorrow. Blind draw format. I do not know his partner. But it's going to be a fun night. Fun day tomorrow. That'll do it for us tonight, right, bud?
That is just about it here, as we have had nothing but a great time bringing you coverage of the Tournament of Champions, brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts in Kansas City, Missouri. With over $2 million of prizes on the line, it has been a pleasure. And tomorrow, the last day, the finale for the tournament, the finale for the players, and the finale for us. Thank you all for watching along with us, giving your love and support.
Yeah, guys, cannot tell you how much we appreciate that. As you see those final score averages, and Jesse not happy about his 1.0, I'm sure. But guys, it's been a pleasure. Will, Nick, Sean saying see you guys tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., 9:30 a.m., whenever it is. 10:30 a.m. I got it right eventually.
All I
We'll see
know
you
is
then.
don't listen to Sean's time because you don't want to miss tomorrow. Make sure to look up our stream. It's going to be 10:30 Central going live for the finale because it's going to be the main event.
There you go. Oh, Dario Meza. That's right. Good partners. See you tomorrow.